Chris Wood to Nuno even, who was humiliated. Elanga the same.
Nuno as well.
Was humiliated the Spurs, goes to Al Ittihad, Benzema doesn't speak to him, he gets sacked again. And I think when you also have that mentality of the players who are on the same level as your manager, because you all have something to prove, it must be a massive boost, because you've all experienced the same things where at some point people didn't believe in you anymore, didn't want you anymore.
Well, what about Elliot Anderson? Newcastle
terrific signing.
Yeah,
terrific signing.
And I think Newcastle, everyone at Newcastle, including Eddie Howe, loved him. But they sold it. So if you're Elliot Anderson, you're thinking, okay, I love this club, but I'm also going to show you.
Completely. And Matt Sells in goal. He had to wait 32 years old to have a chance in a better league than France. And for him to arrive and now to be the second best defence in the country behind Liverpool as a Nottingham Forest goalkeeper is amazing. And again, he had a lot to prove by going there.
I think it's easy to praise players, but I think the manager deserves a huge amount of praise as well.
There's been another goal in the Championship at Hull. Rob Law.
And it's Hull 0, West Brom 2. Moments after Hull had hit the crossbar through Xavier Simons, West Brom went up the other end of the pitch, across to the back post, and Josh Maja was there to head home from 2 yards out. 2 goals in 5 minutes. Hull 0, West Brom 2.
Half-time at the TW Stadium in the Women's Super League. Betty.
Liverpool 0, Chelsea 2. The home side had a good start, Steve, fast on the counter and causing Chelsea's defence a couple of issues. But as expected, Chelsea, still with a 100% record this season, ended up dominating the first half. Their first goal came after Liverpool failed to clear the area. Ramirez poking in the opener. Guru Wrighton doubled their lead, capitalising on a mistake from Liverpool's keeper. Big half-time talk needed for Liverpool. Chelsea lead 2-0.
Well, Chris Wood was one of Newcastle's first signings after they were taken over. He cost them £25 million. The very first signing was the manager, Eddie Howe, who reached 3 years in charge this week.
It feels good to still be here, because when you come in, you're never sure. You're never sure how things are going to go, and you come in with the best intentions. You come in with lots of dreams and lots of emotions, really, because as you say, there's uncertainty, there's some insecurities, because you're going into the unknown, and lots of challenges awaited us at that moment. The first priority, of course, was to stay in the league. It was the only thing that consumed me in that moment, and we got through a lot of work trying to make certain changes, but also try and get the best out of what was already here. And when you look back at the 3 years as a whole, you just think back to loads of positive memories, lots of good feelings, and I'm so pleased with how it's gone. I'm so thrilled to still be sat in the position, and of course I'm happy with the progress. You always want more. You're always not entirely satisfied because we haven't got the one thing that we wanted, which was a trophy. That's the dream. That's still the dream, and it's still driving us.
Nedim, he sort of laughed then when he said he's thrilled to still be there, but also I bet he means it, because a lot of people thought, this might be a man for the short term, and even as far back as a couple of weeks ago, people were starting to say it again.
Yeah, it definitely is a recurring theme at times with Newcastle. I think the position the club are in today, though, compared to back then, it's completely different. I think we've settled upon understanding what the ownership can and can't do for the club. And so in terms of player development, in terms of the way they're looking up the table, I think he's done a good job overall. I wouldn't say that they're as good as they have been throughout the 3 years, and we can say there's so many factors in relation to that, but one thing that they are supremely competitive, not least of all at St James's Park. And I think that's always going to be a foundation for any manager up there that's going to be successful, because some of the ones which we've seen be under pressure tends to be when you've seen someone come down from row Z to go and shout at the manager's pitch side. We've seen those clips before, but fair play to him. I think he understands the club very well. He did his research before he went to the club as well. I think he's given them up there a team which they can get behind, and obviously there have been lows, but there have been a ton of incredible highs, which I'm impressed with, considering when he first came in, as he said, the first job was to try and avoid relegation.
Yeah. Full commentary then of that one, Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle on 5 Sports Extra at 2. The half-time whistle has just gone in the Steel City derby at Bramall Lane. Aaron Paul.
Sheffield United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Tense, fractious, played at pace, but crucially no goals, and we haven't really had any opportunities to match either. United lacking presence in attack with Kiefer Moore injured. Wednesday, they're trying to move the ball quickly in the final third and have worried Michael Cooper in the Blades goal. Barry Bannon has reinforced his status as a villain in these parts. He's been booked for a meaty challenge on Harrison Burrows. The last 3 meetings between these two have finished 0-0, 0-0, 0-0. I wonder if it's a sign. Goalless at the break.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Much more football to come. We'll talk Scottish Premiership. We'll be at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium ahead of Tottenham versus Ipswich, and then we'll take you back to Old Trafford. Full commentary on 5 Live on the way of Manchester United versus Leicester. Let's talk rugby union now. Scotland play the world champions South Africa at Murrayfield. Kicks off at 4:10. Former Scotland number 8 Johnny Beattie's with us. Afternoon, Johnny.
Afternoon, how are you doing?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Very good. I think you will be better if Scotland can finally get this sort of big statement win against a top opponent. Can you see it today?
Well, look, I'm currently pitch side. The atmosphere is building. And the answer is hopefully. For Scottish sport fans, you got to think you're up against the back-to-back world champions. Southern Hemisphere rugby has dominated this weekend with wins at Twickenham and in Dublin, and it's down to Scotland to break that run of form. I guess they know these South African opponents better than they ever have done. They play against them regularly in the URC now. They're at home. It's going to be packed out, sold out game day at Murrayfield. And so Scotland, I think, if this game is close and they can hang in, will be in there with a chance.
The captain, Sione Tuipulotu, said something very, very interesting, I thought, about playing South Africa when he said sometimes you can play them and you've lost before the first whistle is even blown. So just from your own perspective in your career, how do you stop that happening?
I don't know. I never looked at it that way. I always looked at it as an opportunity. I always felt very privileged to be part of the Scottish side and also to be part of those big game days, a chance to knock over your big nations, your Englands, your France, South Africans or your All Blacks. We did it here in 2010. It was incredible. We came very close on South African soil as well in 2013, which would have been Sia Khaleesi's first cap. And so, yeah, I guess if you're writing it off in a negative before you even started, because the game was lost before you've begun, it should be an opportunity. This is a chance to knock over a South African side that are back-to-back world champions. They're coming here. This is their first match of the tour. Scotland have had a run. They played Fiji last week. They have to take the opportunity.
You're sounding confident, Johnny.
A confidence would be I'm an eternal optimist. I wouldn't say confident. I think this will be a very tight game. South Africa are incredibly good at what they do. They apply pressure in all sorts of areas of the game. Their scrum, their line-out maul, the way they dominate collisions, their line speed, they're ferocious and tremendous athletes. So it'll be an incredibly hard game. Very, very tight. I think it will go down right to the last 10 minutes. Scotland did show, again, they didn't show much at the World Cup against South Africa, but they did show how to unlock the South African defence once or twice. They just couldn't finish. So today, if they manage to get those occasions again, they just have to take them, and then South Africa are there for the beating. I wouldn't say confident, but it's possible.
Just before we let you go, Johnny, not that closing out big games has been an important talking point in British rugby over the course of the last 24 hours, but just saying. But do you think Scotland are well equipped to do that?
Look, I think they've got a way of playing, a structure and a style that suits them. I think they try to play expansive, attractive rugby. That'll be tested today against a South African side that is incredibly physical. The big test when we talk about closing out games, especially against the South Africans, is the strength of their bench. So this is a real test for of how Scotland wants to play, but also the strength of their bench. Can it match the physicality and the talent that sat on that Springbok bench when you see Peter Steph du Toit, Grant Williams, Malcolm Marx, Vincent Koch, some of the best players in the world coming at you 60, 70, 80 minutes? That is the test for Scotland today. Can they go the duration and can they topple the world champions?
Great stuff, Johnny. Thank you very much indeed. Johnny Beattie there with us, former Scotland man, live on 5 Live Sport. Premier League Sunday. In cricket, England's men won their first T20 against the West Indies overnight. Phil Salt, 103 not out. England winning by 8 wickets. Pakistan's men have won a one-day series in Australia for the first time in 22 years. Paul Waring has won the Abu Dhabi Championship, finishing on 24 under par, 2 shots clear of Tyrrell Hatton. And for all of you that did park run this morning, a world's best time has been set. So congratulations to Nick Griggs, ran the route in Belfast in 13 minutes and 44 seconds.
Go on, Griggsy lad.
Well done.
I've always been a fan of his as well. Well played.
Never in doubt.
In Scotland, Rangers and Celtic both play this afternoon. Celtic will go top if they win at Kilmarnock at 3. Rangers need to beat Hearts at Ibrox at 5 to be even within 10 points of Aberdeen. Pat Nevin is part of the BBC Scotland team commentary at Rugby Park this afternoon. Hello, Pat.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, very good, thank you. The Old Firm don't massively enjoy going to Rugby Park. They've beaten them 3 times in just over a year.
Yeah, I don't think anyone likes going to Rugby Park. A lot of it is, the reason for it is right in front of me here, although it's a beautiful sunny day down here in Ayrshire. I've also got a plastic pitch sitting in front of me as well.
Yep.
And most players, they would prefer to play in grass, and it makes some difference. I don't know if it makes a huge difference. I looked at some of the stats over the last year or so. Yeah, they had big results against Celtic Rangers last season in this pitch, but Kelly's home form's been quite good, but their away form has been pretty good as well. Fourth in the league last season, and this season again, they're playing quite well. They're doing okay. They're always just a tough nut to crack down here. Unless it was the last game of the season I was down here for Five Live, when Celtic absolutely tonked Kilmarnock and won the league that night. But that was an outlier.
Yeah, I remember Matt O'Reilly scored a couple of goals. We've been talking about him at Brighton already today. So what about Rangers then? I mean, Philippe Clement dropped James Tavernier in Europe in the week. They got a point at Olympiacos. However, with where they are right now, 12 points off the top, do you feel like he might be close to the edge?
No, he absolutely is.
Yeah.
I don't think might be. He absolutely is. I mean, they got through just. We were having a look at the Motherwell semi-final that the Rangers played last week. They were a goal down, and you thought, well, if you lose this one, you could be finished. Well, they got back the 1-2-1, not being absolutely brilliant. But once again, if they don't win this one, you're absolutely right. They'll find themselves on 19 points. They're playing against Hearts, tough nut to crack. And they'll be miles behind, well, I was going to say Celtic, but Aberdeen, who are on 31 points just now. And you'd think at that point in time, the chances of catching either Aberdeen, but particularly Celtic, will be very limited. And in the end, in Scotland, there are two positions if you're Celtic and Rangers. There are first and there is worst. And it looks like they're not going to get first if they don't win that one. So a huge amount of pressure on Philippe Clement this afternoon.
Just to mention Aberdeen as well, like you say, I mean, they won 4-1 against Dundee. Maybe slightly naively or possibly lazily. When I heard that Pap Gay, the guy they brought in to replace all the goals that they lost in the summer, was going to be out until January, especially with how well he started, he's still joint top scorer, I sort of assumed they would struggle from there. But then you look at them yesterday, winning 4-1, 4 different goal scorers.
Yeah, and what they were able to do is bring on some quality as well. They were 2-1 up, tight game. Dundee had played very well in the first half, but then they brought on Nisbet, who played, and I'm going to use this advisedly, a Kevin De Bruyne pass, an absolute cracker. And they made 3-1, then Nisbet scored themselves. So they're able to bring on players, and they've got a little bit of strength and depth. But even so, the fact that they've now played 11 games at the start of this season, won 10 and drawn 1. And the drawn 1 was away at Celtic Park. They were 2-0 down and managed to get back to get a draw. So, you can be lucky for a while, but come on, this is getting a wee bit beyond that. So very, very impressed with Aberdeen. They're pushing Celtic all the way at the moment. It didn't work for them in the Cup because Celtic hammered them in the Cup semi-final. But in the league, they're looking very, very strong. And this doesn't happen, as you well know, in Scotland very often. There was a while back, many years ago, Hearts did it, and they did it for this sort of period, then fell apart because of ownership issues. But the last team who really went on a fantastic run like this over a period of a year, sadly not a season, a year, was where I'm sitting right now. It was Kilmarnock. They had an incredible run, and it had such a good run that they had to get rid of the manager, Steve Clarke, who went on to play for Scotland, what he'd actually done for Kilmarnock. But it's really hard for any team out with Celtic and Rangers, and specifically Celtic just now, to keep it going. But if it keeps going, I think we'll all enjoy it a little bit more.
Lovely stuff, Pat. Enjoy your plastic pitch.
Will do.
Pat Nevin with us there from Rugby Park. We'll keep you up to date with all of those games in the Scottish Premiership. Shortly, we will take you to the Principality Stadium, Wales, Fiji, in their autumn international just getting underway. And we'll talk the retirement of the great Mark Cavendish. All of that. Plus, we'll be back at the football. We'll take you to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We'll have more ahead of Manchester United versus Leicester in Full On 5 Live. Kicks off in 25 minutes' time. We'll do all of that after the news with Richard Foster.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Premier League.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. Good afternoon. People across the country have been paying tribute to the nation's war dead on Remembrance Sunday. The King and the Prime Minister
Hello. Hello and good afternoon. This is Match Day Live on Fancy Football, bringing you live commentary on Manchester United versus Leicester City. But let's look at the formation for today. And United uh, will be will be starting match with 12 points and 13 position, whereas Leicester City Leicester City will be starting the match. So this is so United will be starting the match. Leicester City will be starting the match in uh, 15 position with 10 points with minus 4 goals. United will be also be minus 3 goals as well. So with 12 points. So if United win, they'll go up as higher as let's see, as higher as Bournemouth, who won yesterday as well. So let's see how it goes. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the matches go today for United, and we hope that at the end of the day, everything we go well for Manchester United. They've been there thereabouts. So let's look at the formation and team news, and let's see what happens next. Okay, United will be playing a 4-2-3 formation. When I say the 4-2-3 formation, that which means that with Onana on goal, Dallo will be the right back. Masarau will be the left back. Delete and Martinez will be the two centre backs. You move. Let's move to the midfield. You have a midfield pivot of Casemiro and Ugarte in that midfield. Ugarte. Then you have Dallo. You have Fernandez, Bruno Fernandez also in the midfield as well. Then when you move to the other side of the midfield, the left side of the midfield, you have Marcus Rashford. So it's Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, and up front you have Rasmus Højlund. Then for Leicester, it's a 4-3-3 formation with Hermansen in goal. Then you have Christensen, you have Vestergaard, the Danish Vestergaard, you have Wisney Fils, then John Johnston. Then in the midfield you have Harry Winks, Ndidi, and Somaras. Then up front you have Ayu, Fatswa, and Bonotono. So this is what you have in the midfield. No Vardy for this. Then in the substitute bench for Manchester United, you have Beniada, Victor Lindelof, Mason Mount, Joshua Zexi, Christian Eriksen. You have Garnacho, Anthony, Tom Heaton, and Johnny Evans. Then for Leicester City in the bench, you have Danny Ward, Kono Cody, Caleb Okoli, Stephen. Let's see, Steven Mediev. Then you have El Kanusi, Hamza Chaudhry, Oliver Skip, Osman Eduardo, and Kisim Makte. So this is the starting lineup for Leicester. We all know the current manager of Manchester United. This is his last match for the Reds, and Ruud van Nistelrooy as interim manager is his last match. He has to win this. He has been unbeaten so far, so all road expect him to win this match. Then Steve Cooper is a manager for Leicester City. So it's gonna be an interesting day for United. Very very interesting when I say it's gonna be. So let's put our fingers crossed and see what's gonna happen at the end of the day. It's not gonna be easy for United. It's not going to be easy for Leicester City as well at Old Trafford. United need to win this. Leicester also need a win, but it is Old Trafford and anything can happen. All depends on which Manchester United side will come out. And let me know your thoughts with regards to what you think with the formation for United. Let's know what you think with regards to that formation. But with what we have now, let's know which Manchester United team is going to turn up. It's very, very important to know the United team that is going to turn up. Is it the United team that is lackadaisical under Erik ten Hag, or is it the United team we saw against Leicester City in the League Cup, or against Chelsea in the Premier League last week, or against the PAO, the Turkish team? So I want to find out team which team will be which United team will turn up. But all the same, kindly subscribe to Fancy Football, hit the notification bell. We have just 17 minutes to kick off of the match, so let's keep talking about the match before we go into the live commentary. Then we'll come back in the second half and talk about all that happens at the end of the day. So let's see. Um, you kindly predict. So let's see what's your thoughts, and let's follow the match. Manchester United versus Leicester City. It's United versus Leicester City. Let's see what's gonna happen in this match. Mm. So predict, is it United win? So is it the Manchester United win? So, or is it a Leicester City win? What are the chances for a United win? What are the chances for so going there and participate? Kindly subscribe to Fancy Football, like I always say. Kindly subscribe to Fancy Football. Let's hit the road. Let's hit on the draw. Let's know what you think about it. We'll be following this match live, going through your comments, and let's see what you kindly like, subscribe, and let's see. So match is going to come up in the next 15 minutes. 15 minutes to kick off, and let's see what we have. We'll also be following, giving you not live updates on the match between Tottenham Hotspur and Leicester City. Although Tottenham, Newcastle, giving you the match between Newcastle uh, and let's see. So we'll be following. Uh, so let's see what's gonna happen. It's gonna be very, very interesting, very, very tight today in the EPL. And let's see what's gonna happen. It's gonna be interesting match. It's gonna be interesting matchup. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's keep on talking about the match. It's Manchester United versus Leicester City with 10 with less than 10 minutes, with 12 minutes to go to kick off. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see what's gonna happen. United, we expect a win. For me, I expect a win for United. Let's hope that it is all a win for United at the end of the day. All United fans are expecting a win. So I'll see you in the first half as the match begins. In the first half, we'll see you in the first half, and let's see where it takes us to. So all over the place. Yeah.
Delighted for him. Really good guy. But it's a difficult task for him this season. Really difficult.
Very difficult. So we will keep you right up to date with Tottenham versus Ipswich. As I say, you can listen to commentary via the BBC Sport website. Let's take you back to Old Trafford then. We've got 12 minutes to go until kick-off in Manchester United versus Leicester City. So Vicky Sparks and Michael Brown, your commentary team. Nader Manua, Julien Laurent, Phil Jones, all with us in studio. Leicester have scored in every Premier League game this season. 14 in all, the same as third place Nottingham Forest, more than Newcastle, and 5 more than their opponents today. Jules, looking at the front line that Leicester have got, how important is Facundo Buonanotte in particular?
Well, I think it's been great for them. It's such a good loan deal, this one, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because we've
From
seen...
Brighton, eh?
Yeah, from Brighton. And we've seen with Brighton that some players arrive really young and they're just not maybe ready for a team that could compete like Brighton or wants to compete for a top 10, top 8, maybe even top 6 under De Zerbi, as we saw finish. And when you're 19 like Buonanotte and you're clearly very good, there's no doubt your talent is there, like a McAllister was at the time, like a Caicedo was, then you know that alone is good for you too, to get some game time, to get some minutes, to maybe have a little bit more freedom to play in a Leicester team, you would think, than in a very structured De Zerbi team or Özil team as it is now for Brighton. And sometimes I think he still needs a bit more composure and give the ball away a bit quicker, a bit quicker, because there's an extra touch or 2 extra touches because he's such a good dribbler and good left foot. But he will get there, and already he has a great impact on this team.
The other 2/3 of that potential forward line, because I think Buonanotte will move up because they're playing Ndidi and Samare with Winks in midfield, is the 2 Ghanaians, Nadim, in Jordan Ayew and Abdul Fatawu. Steve Cooper talked this week about the way that Ayew was the kind of senior pro is helping Fatawu, who seems to be the guy that Leicester fans are most excited about.
Yeah, for sure, and I think an exciting player is key when it comes down to, say, belief on the field and in the stands as well. You know, I think if you've got fond memories of supporting a football team, you hear that sound, you know, when all the chairs start coming up when everyone stands up on stands, it's like, all up and down the stadium. I think Fatawu has that ability, and to be honest, for Leicester, you know, those goals are the reason why they're not currently, you know, in that bottom 3, in my opinion. The fact that, you know, they are giving up goals, like I think it's 21 goals they've conceded so far this season. It's not exactly brilliant, but they still feel like they have a chance. They've scored quite a few late goals as well, coming back from difficult situations. And obviously Vardy being missing today is going to be an issue, but this is it. You've got to get used to him. Jamie Vardy, you know, is as old as me, almost as old as you, so realistically he's not going to be there forever, is he? So I like it, and I think for Cooper, when he was at Forest, I felt like they didn't score enough goals, and that was one of the reasons why I think he was probably under a bit of pressure. Whereas I think the ability for a side to score goals will always buy you more time, even if the results don't necessarily go your way straight away.
The half-time whistle has gone at Hull. Rob Law.
Hull 1, West Brom 2. Hull had 2/3 of possession in the opening 25 minutes, but West Brom had 2 shots and scored both of them in 5 minutes. The first from Carlan Grant, whose shot took a wicked deflection to give him his 50th league goal of his career. Hull responded well and hit the crossbar before Josh Madger headed in from close range to make it 2-0. Then 3 minutes before the break, with Hull piling the pressure on, João Pedro leapt highest to nod past Alex Palmer in the Albion goal and to give Hull some hope heading into the second half. Hull 1, West Brom 2.
Thank you very much, Rob. So choice of listening coming up very shortly here on 5 Live in 9 minutes' time. If you want to listen to Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle, that one's available on 5 Sports Extra. Lee Blakeman.
Third placed Forest are looking to make it 4 straight wins for the first time in 2.5 years since they won promotion from the Championship. Newcastle have never lost in the Premier League at the City Ground, though. Both teams unchanged from last weekend.
On the BBC Sport website, it's Tottenham versus Ipswich. Henry Moran.
Spurs could do without making life hard for themselves. They've conceded the opening goal in 12 out of 14 home matches this calendar year, and their last 3 at home have all seen them come from behind to win. They've actually only kept 1 clean sheet at home in their last 20. As for Ipswich, well, they've found ways of scoring goals, but keeping leads has been the issue. Only Brentford have dropped more points from winning positions in this Premier League season.
Try at the Principality, Molly Stevens.
Yeah, the perfect start for Wales debutant Blair Murray. Flies down the left-hand side to score his first Wales try. Gareth Anscombe takes care of the afters. Just over 10 minutes played here. Wales 7, Fiji 0.
Thank you very much, Molly. You can listen to that one as well, available on the BBC Sport website. Steve Cooper is just making his way, Michael Brown, into the dugout there at Old Trafford. For listening to a lot of Leicester fans, the expectation on him is huge. Like, they're not in the relegation zone and they're a fair distance from it. But I think if you're a team that's won the Premier League and the FA Cup and challenged for the Champions League all in the last decade, I think they should be doing more than just staying up this season.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's so not fair, to be honest, when you come into a new project and the squad wasn't particularly strong. They had to act late in the transfer time that they had. But I think he's a really experienced manager now. I really like him. The job he did at Forest, I think he took them from sort of bottom end Championship right up, and then all the signings he had to deal with, lots of things thrown his way. Still tried to produce a team with quality, with a style, and I think it's going to take him time. So the Leicester supporters, we understand the problems that they've had for a long period. You have to bear with him. I think they're in safe hands, and I would have expected them to be lower already at the start of this season. So don't be too disappointed when you don't get those results. And this is the modern day football now, Steve. You're always surprised you've done it, but the Leicester fans demand more, and they weren't really sure about the appointment in the first place.
Nadem, just to say, I know why you mentioned your age. 1, I'm older than you, and 2...
Okay, the kickoff will be soon in the next 5 minutes. It will be Manchester United versus Leicester City, so enjoy every bit and parcel of it. Kindly subscribe, like the video, participate in our polls as well. It's Manchester United versus Leicester City, so let's see what's going to happen at the end of the day. So let's see what's going to happen.
And before kick-off on this Remembrance Sunday, a moment to honour all of those who have lost their lives in conflict and those servicemen and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice for their country, as the players line up around the centre circle, which is covered in a black sheet with a poppy on that says, "We will remember them."
Old Trafford. At today's match, we will show our support to the Royal British Legion on Remembrance Weekend. Before we observe a moment of reflection, the club would like to extend a special thanks to our representatives from the armed forces for their contribution to today's remembrance activity. Lieutenant Commander Steve Cass, Royal Navy; Captain David Barton, the Army; Private Ben Barton, the Army; Major Mark Lydiot, the Fusiliers Association; Air Serviceman Jack Yeomans, the Royal Air Force; and our bugler today, Sergeant Martin Roberts, the Army. As a mark of respect to all of those who have lost their lives in conflicts around the world, we ask you to join the players in observing a period of silence, which will start on the referee's whistle. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
So Manchester United against Leicester City here at Old Trafford. And just a reflection before we kick off, Michael Brown, on that Leicester team news. So Vardy and Pereira both picking up injuries in training. Vardy, Leicester's top scorer this season, had started every single Premier League game at the ripe old age of 37. I mean, it seems like the obvious question, but he's going to be a huge miss.
A huge miss. He's a leader in this side. There's that pace, there's that understanding, maturity, when to go in behind, when to press. He gets after people behind him to support. But I think Jordan Ayew, I think they've got a really seasoned campaigner who can lead that line, so there is a natural replacement. I think that was a good signing for them. Pereira's flexibility as well is also a miss, so something you have to deal with. Steve Cooper probably wouldn't have said that Jamie Vardy would have played all of these games under the manager, but he's obviously seen something. They have a good understanding, and there's legs around him, wide areas as well with that pace.
Yes, Jordan Ayew, 3 goals already after arriving in the summer from Crystal Palace, and he's been so key at scoring late goals off the bench, hasn't he? 2 in the Premier League, 98th minute winner against Southampton, 94th minute equaliser against Ipswich last match, and now given the chance in Vardy's absence to impress from the starters. Leicester break away from their pre-match huddle. We'll take you through the full lineups in a moment, but it will be Manchester United playing from left to right in the traditional home kit of the red shirts, the white shorts and the black socks to get us underway here at Old Trafford on BBC Radio 5 Live. A choice of listening this afternoon. Nottingham Forest against Newcastle United is over on Sports Extra. Tottenham against Ipswich, you can listen to that on the BBC Sport website, and Chelsea against Arsenal coming up for you on 5 Live at 4:30 as Manchester United get things underway and play the ball out to the right hand side, and Diogo Dalot clears towards the halfway line. Ahmed is flagged offside. Leicester won the ball anyway, but the flag is up, and our referee will raise his hand in the air, Peter Banks, and give the free kick to Leicester City, who work it out to the right hand side, and James Justin now white fast square to Yannick Vestergaard, and Leicester just settling into these early stages here at Old Trafford. They have a poor record against Manchester United. United have lost just 2 of their last 17 Premier League games against Leicester City, and of course looking to send Ruud van Nistelrooy off in style, certainly from the manager's job. We wait to see if he'll still be part of the coaching staff once Amorim arrives. As Leicester give the ball away, and Manchester United come down the left hand side, checks progress inside the penalty area for Rashford, so he steers it back to Lisandro Martinez, and now out on the left hand side, picked up by Mazraoui, taking on Justin. Mazraoui will play it back to Lisandro Martinez, who squares it to Matthias de Ligt. He's just outside the centre circle and all the way back with Diogo Darlow. Whips the ball forward, looking for the run of Bruno Fernandes. Cuts the ball across, looking for Højlund. Cleared away by Leicester, back out to Fernandes. Right-hand side of the penalty area. Making his 250th appearance for Manchester United, the skipper today. As Ahmed's dispossessed. United win it back. Thump clear eventually by Christensen on that left-hand side and over the halfway line he goes, and it's picked up by Martinez as Manchester United bring it forward again with Casemiro. Good footing by Ndidi though, steals it just inside the Leicester half. Leicester playing in their home kit as well, the all royal blue, and Buonanotte does brilliantly to dart past the challengers, plays it to the left-hand side looking for Ayew. Manchester United get the foot in, they come down the left-hand side. Let's bring you in Michael Brown. 2 minutes gone, this game has started at a cracking pace.
Really good start to the game. Manchester United putting pressure on the goalkeeper, and Rashford gets it. Bruno Fernandes, a wonderful run. Dalot tries to play him down that right-hand side, and then Buonanotte just getting on the ball. He didn't disappoint. He's gone on the right-hand side, coming in left-footed. A wonderful little run through the middle, and it's been exciting. It's been positive from both teams.
Lovely distribution by Andre Onana. Almost went straight to James Justin instead of Mazraoui in the end. As Manchester United pick it up once more. Lovely control by Bruno Fernandes. He has it just outside his own penalty area. Out to the right-hand side and picked up by Ahmed, who drives away from Christensen. His fellow number 16 trying to stop him, but Ahmed's done really well. Down to the byline he goes, held up by the corner flag by Christensen for Leicester. So Ahmed's needing an option, and a little swipe from Fatawu wins the free kick. Brilliant play from Ahmed. Manchester United free kick. Michael Brown's thoughts on his start in a moment, but let's head for an update from the rugby. Wales against Fiji. Molly Stevens.
Wales 7, Fiji 3 now. It looked like 2 Wales tries. Cam Winnett scored, but the bunker review showed Tommy Raffel neck rolled a Fijian on the floor, so he's in the bin. It's no try. Now a Fijian has been sent to the sin bin too, and there's been a ruling of another no try for Wales, so it stands Wales 7, Fiji 3.
All happening, Molly. BBC Wales commentary is available online. Manchester United standing over this free kick from the wide right, but brilliant play by Ahmed, wasn't it?
Yeah, wonderful feat. I thought he'd run out of space. Great run initially into the space. He comes back in, 2 players around him. As you said, just drawn the foul. Now, really exciting area, wide position. Leicester all on the edge of the 6 trying to defend it.
So Ahmed is by this, Bruno Fernandes as well, and it will be Fernandes to swing it in. Decent delivery, headed away powerfully by Vestergaard. Comes out 30 yards out or so to Mazraoui, who went for goal. It's blocked away by Leicester, and then Jordan Ayew felt that he was brought down there by Fernandes. Nothing doing from Peter Banks, and Fernandes expresses just as much frustration as Ayew. But the decision does go Manchester United's way. A little slip by Højlund inside the penalty area as the ball is cleared away by Fass. Out of play over on the left-hand side to Nottingham Forest against Newcastle United. Lee Blakeman.
Forest 0, Newcastle 0. Forest have had a good chance already though. Ilanga free kick, fell to Wood, 6 yards out, powerful shot, good block. Wood looking to score for his 5th straight Premier League game. Very close there. Forest 0, Newcastle 0.
Commentary over on 5 Sports Extra. Manchester United in possession with Diogo Darlow just inside their own half. They have Onana in goal. The back 4 of Darlow playing at right back, De Ligt, Martinez, and then Mazraoui over at left back, Casemiro and Ugarte ahead of them with Ahmed, Fernandes and Rashford supporting Højlund up front as Ahmed has it on this right-hand side. Leicester with Hermansen in goal. The back 4 of Justin, Fass, Vestergaard and Christensen ahead of them. Samare making his first Premier League start of the season, something that many Leicester fans have been calling for. And Ndidi and Winks with Fatawu, Buonanotte and Ayew up front. If you're just joining us, no Jamie Vardy or Ricardo Pereira, both picked up injuries in training and miss out today for Leicester. Throw over on the far side to Manchester United, 5 minutes gone, it's 0-0. Michael Brown.
Yeah, you just talk about Samare, just wondering which position he was going to play, whether it'd be more in an advanced sort of 8/10 putting pressure on, but it's actually Ndidi who's gone further forward. He's just gone alongside Winks and was sat in, but it's quite open. Both sides are trying to commit early, and we've just seen something about that wide free kick before. It was a good delivery from Fernandes. Casemiro attacked it, almost got on the end of it, but Leicester City have got to just get a couple of passes wherever possible, calm the nerves. The manager talks about coming here and having more confidence than he ever could, but Manchester United look sharp.
Nice ball forward by Casemiro. Here's Højlund, feeds Bruno Fernandes, and now Ahmed, right hand side of the penalty area. A couple of step overs, went for the curler, deflection, takes the sting out of the shot and makes it easy for Mads Hermansen to come and claim.
Yeah, it was good wide play. Once he gets in sort of the penalty area, right hand side, he's got both options, whether he goes line, and this time he comes in on that left foot. There's a wide play. You just see that gap from the goalkeeper's right hand. He's trying to look to try and curl to use that Leicester body so the goalkeeper doesn't get an eye line, but well blocked from Ndidi, come all the way back.
So Leicester play the ball long down the right hand side, hooked away by Sandro Martinez, and bounces out of play for a throw to Leicester City, which James Justin will take. His performances have been under a lot of scrutiny this season, but coming back into the side today, Ricardo Pereira obviously being out plays a part in that as Leicester City pick it up with Samare. And here is Harry Winks as Christensen has an option on the left hand side and finds him here right in front of the watchful eye of Ruud van Nistelrooy. As Vestergaard plays it forward, laid off by Ndidi. Nice little triangles here from Leicester. Central position midway through the Manchester United half as that ball forward will be intercepted and picked up by Rasmus Højlund, and now Ahmed with a chance to drive down the right hand side again. Højlund racing to keep pace with him and has done so. Here is Højlund, right hand side of the penalty area. The red shirts arriving for Manchester United as Højlund slows the play down, lays it off to Casemiro. Little deflection on the way through, cleared away by Wout Faes. Fatawu will get the header in for Leicester, goes out of play for a Manchester United throw.
Yeah, Ahmed had the space again. They're looking to get the crosses in, deliver. Højlund was sort of a little bit slow getting into the central positions. He tried to help down the right and then couldn't get in the space. But what's better in this Manchester United side, the right up, the high up the pitch, trying to put the pressure wider. They've obviously both wide players are hugging the line on the touch lines. Højlund being that 9, Fernandes just trying to create some space.
Here is Højlund trying to turn fast. Peter Banks happy to let that go. Leicester get a footing and eventually the free kick goes Leicester City's way as well.
Yeah, there wasn't much in it. Højlund on the floor, but it went with Leicester City. They'd be quite pleased. Just want to try and get a feel for it. Steve Cooper, obviously, as I said, the pressure so early in his tenure that he needs to get results, which is a strange situation. I think he's had a relatively good start. I really like him as a manager. I think he can take the club forward, but yeah, fascinating start. Leicester just slowing it down now, trying to just take the sting out of the game, get some extra passes as they go back and forth. Harry Winks is key to that.
8.5 minutes gone, it's 0-0. Leicester with the ball on the halfway line. Here is Jordan Ayew, plays it to the left hand side, and Christensen, and now all the way back to Harry Winks. Forward now to Wilfred Ndidi. Leicester enjoying a little bit of possession. They lost here a couple of games ago in the League Cup 5-2, but completely different starting lineups today. Just 2 starters from that Leicester side, remaining 7 for Manchester United. They named a pretty strong side in what was Ruud van Nistelrooy's first game in charge as interim manager. This will be his last as Leicester play the ball out to the left hand side. And here is Fatawu, a little bit of space to run. It's closed down by Dalot. But Fatawu, brilliant run, little jinking movement towards the penalty area. Then goes down, no free kick given. Manchester United are giving the ball away though, and Harry Winks will play it back to Boubacar Samare. And out to the right hand side, and Leicester have the ball on halfway. Back to the rugby, Molly Stevens.
Yeah, and Fiji have another player in the bin. So it's 13 players of Fiji against 14 of Wales right now. Wales have also been awarded a penalty try. They didn't get it down, but only because of flat foul play by Fiji. It's 14-3 to Wales here.
Throw to Leicester over on the far side, taken by Buonanotte. Now Samare will play it infield again. Leicester maintaining this good little spell of possession until commentators curse classic. Vestergaard plays the ball, gets a deflection, and here come Manchester United down the left hand side with Marcus Rashford, runs it out of play to Tottenham against Ipswich. Henry Moran.
Where Spurs are looking the better of the two sides, but it's a good open game. They're still Spurs 0, Ipswich 0. We've just seen Cameron Burgess of Ipswich meeting a corner, his looping header clipping the top of the bar, but a couple of good sights of goal for Brennan Johnson as well for Spurs. Spurs 0, Ipswich 0.
Commentary over on the BBC Sport website. You can listen to Nottingham Forest on Sports Extra, and of course we are delighted to have your company here on 5 Live as Manchester United have the ball just inside their own half. So 10 minutes gone, 0-0. One of those wonderful things that you secretly hope for in the congested press box here at Old Trafford has happened, Michael Brown. The chap next to producer Rob hasn't turned up. Don't know where he is. Hopefully he'll be watching the game somewhere, but it means you can spread out a bit.
I was told it was an influencer as well, but I thought that was Rob's job today. Not normally very good at that sort of thing, but yeah, a little bit of space. It is tight. It's not Everton.
Manchester United in possession on the halfway line. And here goes Diogo Dalot. just outside the centre circle. Ball back to Ugarte with short, and Buonanotte pounces. Well challenged. Though Jordan Ayew didn't think that. Buonanotte doesn't complain, and Alessandro Martinez is already approaching the Leicester City penalty area. Ball is swung in. It's a good delivery, flicked away by Christensen, and behind for a Manchester United corner.
Yeah, good deep delivery. Ahmed just coming around the back post. Christensen under pressure, couldn't take any risk. Just glances his header for that corner kick, and now they've got to defend it. But early deliveries on point, putting pressure on. Now can this delivery be good? Bruno Fernandes coming across the set-up, nobody on the post for Leicester, 4 on the edge of the 6, and a couple of markers, nobody on the edge. Can they be clever, Manchester United, with this?
Well, they have scored in each of their last 28 Premier League games against Leicester. Manchester United, what can they do here? It's a poor corner, it's headed away by Ayew on the corner of the 6-yard box as Bruno Fernandes glances to the misty skies here in Manchester in frustration, and Manchester United have it on the halfway line with Mazraoui out to the left-hand side, and Casemiro as they slow the play down once more, and picked up by now Lisandro Martinez as Ruud van Nistelrooy hasn't moved from the edge of that technical area, stands with his arms folded. 2 questions for you, Michael Brown, answer them in whatever order you want. Do you think he will stay as part of the coaching staff under Ruben Amorim, and should he stay from your perspective? Leicester coming forward, so Michael's got a bit of thinking time. Here is Jordan Ayew inside the centre circle. Again, feels like he's getting absolutely nothing, goes down, looks at referee Peter Banks, who just shakes his head, and Ayew gets up and now apologises to Wilfred Ndidi for not making the most of that. And Manchester United have it just inside the Leicester City half.
Well, thanks very much for that. You give me a little bit of time. I was hoping these attacks continued and I could sit on the fence slightly. It is going to be so interesting what they do. Obviously, there's a new manager coming in, when you know somebody has had a taste for it and possibly would like to do it more longer term. Sorry, just a pause there. I thought there was half a chance for Manchester United, but he'd be delighted if he can be involved. But if not, he'd be happy if he's not going to have good involvement. He will leave it and go somewhere else.
Leicester have given the ball away. Here is Bruno Fernandes just outside the penalty area. Good recovery by Ndidi, who charges down. Yes, that half chance was the ball into the area from the left-hand side, but Højlund just couldn't latch onto it. But Manchester United have a throw deep in Leicester territory, goalless. 13 and a half minutes gone here on BBC Radio 5 Live. You might have heard about the new audio rights deal. We're delighted to have signed this week with the Premier League. Even more commentaries than ever before over the next 4 seasons, and we cannot wait to have you with us for them here on 5 Live, as Manchester United can't really do anything with that throw. It goes out of play for a Leicester throw, which Christensen will take deep in his own territory.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes is generally very, very good with that short throw. It's just that little set with his right foot. He doesn't catch it right as he just gives the ball away. Normally you bet on him every single time, but Manchester United, good pressure in the middle of the pitch. Casemiro in and around the situation, then say this is the one, they're pushing it really early to Rashford.
And here he is now over on that left-hand side, well charged down by James Justin. Ball goes out of play for a throw to Manchester United. But you talk about the closing down from Casemiro there, Michael. They know the danger that Buonanotte is, the 19-year-old. I think he had about 5 red shirts on him there as soon as he got the ball and tried to turn and drive towards the Manchester United half.
You're going to have to, aren't you? Because you've seen his intent in the first second when he pushed it through the middle. But it's the same on the right here. Manchester United, they've got similar.
Yep, Ahmed looking so lively, having bagged that brace against PAOK Salonika in midweek. Shook off a little knock as well, was brought off injured in that game, but he's starting today ahead of Garnacho as Leicester win the ball back, and Jordan Ayew takes it over the halfway line. Here is Fatawu. Sliding dive by Casemiro, gets away with it as Fatawu evades the challenge. Then Jordan Ayew keeps the ball in on the byline. Another sliding challenge. That was better from Casemiro. Gives away the corner, but all of a sudden just looking a little bit ragged there, Manchester United.
Yeah, Fatawu just rides one challenge. He said Casemiro sliding in, and it's a little slide pass into the box. Ayew looked like he was favoured, but I think it was a good covering run from Martinez getting across. It somehow stayed in on the line. He's holding his head, but he was just caught with a trailing sort of boot as he jumps over the top, and we got another look there, and great recovery run from Casemiro as Ayew was just about to push the ball right in the front of Onana.
Yeah, nothing intentional from Ayew, but a little bit painful for Lisandro Martinez. He is back to his feet and ready to defend this corner. Goalless here, 16 minutes gone on 5 Live on BBC Sounds. As Leicester City send the corner in, it's powerfully headed away on the edge of the 6-yard box, and Rasmus Højlund will complete the clearance. Good defending by De Ligt there. Højlund, who's back there clearing, launches it up and looking for Diallo, and Diallo's done brilliantly. He's won the header ahead of Christensen. Christensen racing to keep pace with him. Diallo into the penalty area, left-hand side. Christensen recovers really well, gets the foot in, sends it out of play for a Manchester United throw, but all the applause you can hear around Old Trafford is for that man, Ahmed.
But when Ahmed jumps, Christensen's always favourite. I don't know how he got it.
A lovely little back heel from Ahmed as Fernandes launches the ball from the edge of the area into the bottom corner and celebrates his 250th Manchester United appearance by putting them ahead against Leicester City. Bruno rings around Old Trafford. It's a super finish. It's Manchester United 1, Leicester City 0.
Oh, it's quick and slick from Manchester United. Fernandes, you give him space. You have got to be so tight to him. Right foot as he drifts sort of 20 yards out, left-hand side of the penalty area. He hits it so quickly, right, he flashes across the left-hand side of the goalkeeper into that far corner, sort of coming right around with a bit of whip and curl on. It's a wonderful finish. He has no right to take that on, but they were just a little bit short, little give and go. Casemiro's back heel, which was brilliant. And then that curling finish. A fantastic goal from Manchester United.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous backheel assist. And Bruno Fernandes picks it up and curls it low, fast around the despairing dive of Hermansen into the bottom corner. And Manchester United lead by a goal to 0. As Bruno Fernandes marks this milestone appearance with the opening goal of the game. So 1-0 here to Manchester United, still goalless in the other 2 o'clock Premier League games between Nottingham Forest and Newcastle, and Tottenham and Ipswich also goalless still. You can listen to Tottenham against Ipswich online on the BBC Sport website. Nottingham Forest against Newcastle is over on Sports Extra. As Manchester United has the ball over on the far side. Bit of a problem for Leicester here. James Justin is down, but already quickly back up to his feet. And Manchester United take the throw, leading by a goal to 0. Andre Onana has the ball inside his own penalty area, all in bright yellow. Plays it out to this right-hand side, Michael Brown.
It was a great finish, wasn't it? That back heel, fantastic. Just from a throw-in where it's tight, it looks like they have no space whatsoever, but they work it well. And he's got such quality, hasn't he? Bruno Fernandes just sees it so early, just flicks it right across. It's a brilliant finish.
Free kick to Leicester, wide left position, just about level with the penalty area. Fatawu going down. In terms of Bruno Fernandes' goal scoring as well, as you say, we know he's got that quality, but it's remarkable really how he started finding the back of the net under Ruud van Nistelrooy. That is his 4th goal in 4 games under Ruud van Nistelrooy. He hadn't scored in 13 games under Erik ten Hag this season. So many positives to take from this brief spell as interim manager. And we will see Leicester take this free kick, and then we'll be off to Liverpool in the WSL, where there's been a goal in their game against Chelsea. So Leicester taking this free kick from the wide left-hand side, swung in by Buonanotte. Ndidi was in there, it's flicked away, and it did come off the head of Ndidi, so it's a Manchester United though deep in their own territory to Liverpool against Chelsea. Betty.
It's Liverpool 0, Chelsea 3. Aggie Beaver-Jones, this time her 4th goal of the season, received the ball in front of the goal. Liverpool's defenders nowhere to be seen and tapped it into the back of the net after some nice build-up play from Chelsea. Liverpool will be disappointed though after a much better second half and plenty of opportunities. It's Liverpool 0, Chelsea 3.
Goal at Nottingham Forest, Lee Blakeman.
And Forest are ahead, Forest 1, Newcastle 0. Brilliant free kick in from the right from Ilanga. Murillo on the end of it, came through a crowd. Forest 1, Newcastle 0.
Thanks very much, Lee. Commentary continues over on Sports Extra. Another throw to Manchester United midway through their own half. Michael Brown, what about this start to the season for Nottingham Forest?
I was just waiting for Chris Wood. He's disappointing. Must be having a relaxing afternoon. But yeah, wonderful from Forest. Fantastic return. You know, they struggled at times, haven't they? And then now they're finding their feet and really top form. As of Manchester United at the start of this game, started very, very well. Bruno Fernandes, that leader, he's at it again. Lovely skill from Ahmed.
Yeah, brings the ball down on the halfway line and plays it back to Matthias de Ligt. Old Trafford is delighted with what they are seeing from Ahmed so far, 22 years of age. He's been a regular this season. This is 5th Premier League start, but it was that brace in midweek in Europe that really gave him the nod ahead of Alejandro Garnacho, and that's going to be a real battle, isn't it, in terms of who is going to start under Ruben Amorim, because that's it, isn't it? We can analyse the last 4 games and how Manchester United have improved under Ruud van Nistelrooy and what sort of things Amorim might bring in, but yeah, it's still going to be a new manager and exactly set up, formation change, 3 at the back. Is that definitely going to come in, all of that sort of thing?
Rashford, can he find a different role? What will happen with him? It's great competition. That's what Manchester United have needed for some time. Wider areas, that, not just that as well, in the middle of the pitch. You look now, Eriksen's waiting to get an opportunity. Ugarte coming in, Casemiro. So they've had a squad depth. They've had lots of injuries, Manchester United, but it's almost like the shackles are off and let's go. Let's play with a bit of confidence. And there's been so much pressure on the manager, wasn't there, for such a long period that was almost an excuse.
Leicester in possession on this left-hand side with Fatawu, pursued by Manchester United's goal scorer Bruno Fernandes. So goes all the way back to Christensen, who himself goes all the way back to Hermansen. Clears up towards halfway, over the head of Jordan Ayew, who just got a flick on it, trying to send it forwards towards Ndidi, and collected by De Ligt. You mentioned it earlier, Michael, but he really is pushing forward, isn't he, Ndidi? At that point, Ayew was dropping back as a striker to do the hold-up play and flick it on, and Ndidi's the furthest player forward.
He's going to put pressure on wherever he possibly can. Manchester United are playing those short passes. Here he is again, just drifting, waiting to see if he can nick it. He's good at getting the ball back. He reads it quickly. He covers across the ground. He's a midfielder. So what he can also do, if there's any sort of pass that they can get him in behind, that's what they're trying as well, to break the line. Here he is.
Manchester United have lost the ball. Ayew picks it up out to the left-hand side, and Fatawu just outside the penalty area, pulls it back central position. Harry Winks now to the left-hand side, and Christensen thought about the cross but plays it forward instead to Fatawu. Darlow gets the foot in and he's penalised, and it will be another Leicester free kick, and Fatawu's done really well at winning those down this left-hand side.
What he did really well is he got his body in between the contact of Darlow coming, and some people say that's not a foul, but because he gets his body on the line, the arm comes across, just have another look there, and he just sort of gives him that shove because he can't get to the ball. He's already committed, he's already said, right, I'm going to go and win this. But because of the change of sort of the body position, that allowed him to draw the foul, go down, and now a key area. Leicester City, good reaction. Now can they have that call? Look at the edge of the area. Did they go with the in-swinger? Can they pull it to the edge?
Yeah, Fatawu's waiting there. Christensen as well, completely on mark, both of them on the edge of the D. No Jamie Vardy to aim for, he's out injured. It's been a decent showing so far by Leicester. They trail by 1-0. Looking for the leveller here as Bonanotte, one of those standing over it. Harry Winks is there as well. Bonanotte with his arm in the air, and he will take it, left-footed, it's swung in, good delivery, and the header down. In the end, couldn't quite get the purchase, and it's claimed by Andre Onana. It was Ndidi up there just outside the 6-yard box, down into the ground, but didn't have the power, and straightforward enough for Andre Onana.
Good delivery, sort of just had to sort of jump and just guide it towards the goalkeeper, but the power was gone there because of the angle of the approach, and just drops into the goalkeeper. But at least you're getting crosses in, at least you're getting first contact in the penalty area. Steve Cooper just having a little look behind with the technical areas or anything of any information that can improve his side. I think they've done all right, considering, you know, you go behind, you can have a little wobble, but they're getting on the ball, trying to move it, gaining confidence. Manchester United just sat in waiting. That's been one thing, hasn't it, for such a long period of time, that Manchester United have struggled when teams have played, moved them around the longer the game went on. And when you look in the middle now, they've got real experience in them three.
Here is Vestergaard just outside the penalty area. Plays it forward, too much on it for Ayew, and will be collected by Martinez. Full time in the WSL at Liverpool. Betty Glover.
Chelsea maintain their 100% record, 6 wins on the bounce now. Brilliant start for Sonia Bombastor. Their Colombian star Ramirez opened the scoring before Guru Wrighton doubled their lead in the first half. Aggie Beaver-Jones made it 3-0 in the second. Liverpool had a better second half, but it was Chelsea that dominated this one. It's Liverpool 0, Chelsea 3.
Thanks, Betty. Here come Manchester United down the left-hand side. Options in the centre include Rasmus Højlund, who's just making his way into the penalty area, but Mazraoui will put it back to Ugarte. Now Rashford, lovely little dig forward by Bruno Fernandes, but it won't reach Casemiro. Leicester get a foot in. Manchester United win it back. Bonanotte then wins it back for Leicester, but again surrounded by red shirts as soon as he gets on the ball. This time Ugarte with the foot in to play it to Bruno Fernandes down the left-hand side. Feeds Rashford. Plays it back to Fernandez, and then Rashford tangling with James Justin off the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Buonanotte trying to dispossess Fernandez, can't do so. Comes back to Ugarte, and now Casemiro. Leicester get the block in once more. Back to Ugarte, left hand side, midway through the Leicester half. Rashford and Justin are up to their feet, no harm done. And both continue as Manchester United build down this left hand side. In field now to Lisandro Martinez. Manchester United won Leicester 0 on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as Manchester United give the ball away, and Fatawu, well, not really sure what he was trying to do there. I think the slip has made up his mind for him. Was he thinking about the chip there? Was he trying to play Ayew in? Either way, he's fallen over as he's kicked the ball, and it's easy enough for Onana to gather.
He's in his own half, approaching right at the halfway line. He has tried to stick it right over the top of Onana. He retreats very quickly, and as you said, there was a slip, so he chested it down, made it look easy, but he did scamper because he's seen it coming, the goalkeeper. Just the execution couldn't happen. Great thinking to take it on, very brave, and just that slip sort of didn't let us see something magic.
You say great thinking as captain Harry Winks says, what are you doing? He was furious as the ball is through the centre, Ndidi into the penalty area. Onana makes the save. That was a brilliant ball over the top for Leicester City. Ndidi made the run. Nobody in the Manchester United defence tracked him, but he couldn't get the cleanest contact, and Onana did so well to come out and make himself big, make the block, make the save, and Manchester United have it just outside
What did we say they were waiting for? The new Manchester United be square, and Ndidi has the pace, the power, determination to get into those positions. A great Festus, wonderful ball, and he just waits, and the goalkeeper does very well. Generally, if he'd have dived to it, he would have just dinked it over him, and he stayed big and made a good save. He made it look easy. Big chance for Leicester to equalise here at Old Trafford. Manchester United bringing it forward with Rasmus Højlund, lays it off to the left hand side, and Mazraoui just slow the play down and play it in field to Lisandro Martinez. In field now to Matthijs de Ligt, and Darlow will send it forward to Ugarte. Field now to Marcus Rashford, and back to de Ligt once more. Out to the left hand side as Manchester United build towards the halfway line. Martinez, Mazraoui will pick it up now, hugging that left hand touchline. In field to Marcus Rashford. Manchester United looking comfortable, confident in possession. You talked earlier about the handbrake being off under Ruud van Nistelrooy. I guess that the big question is, you know, they knew it was going to be an interim period. It almost was a free hit for him, for everybody. The question is, can they play with this relieving of pressure as Ruben Amorim comes in as well? Or does that pressure suddenly come back at the height that it was? He's a Manchester United manager. That's what he's coming to do with a team who've not really been performing for such a long period of time. So the pressure's on. It's going to take him time. The system, the formation has all been talked about, but whatever that is, personnel as well, needs to be improved, and it's going to take sort of a couple of windows of get that, but he'll want to get his side off to an interesting start, that's for certain. But is there enough depth in this squad to really put pressure on at the top? Not yet. So Jim Ratcliffe is in the stands today. Manchester United's co-owner watching on as Manchester United play the ball over the top. Rasmus Højlund is chasing, but Hermansen comes out well and claims. Where should we go next here on 5 Live? Full time. Sheffield United against Sheffield Wednesday. Michael Brown is grinning to my left. Aaron Paul.
Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Victory for the Blades, courtesy of a Tyrese Campbell goal 5 minutes after the restart. The game's only shot on target, a proper derby atmosphere, lacking final third quality, but the Blades don't care. They've got the bragging right. Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Manchester United have stolen the ball on the halfway line, fast, dispossessed, played forward looking for the run of Bruno Fernandes, but Leicester get the foot in, and Harry Winks will pick it up, and then a little slip from Samare, but it's not costly because Winks have gone out to the left hand side, and Ndidi, but he wasn't paying attention. Ahmed comes right behind him, steals the ball from him, and Ugarte will play it back to Casemiro as Manchester United have it on the far side. We'll be heading to the rugby shortly. Manchester United building down this left hand side with Marcus Rashford. Pull it back to Lisandro Martinez, leading by a goal to nil. Half an hour gone here at Old Trafford in Ruud van Nistelrooy's final match as interim manager of Manchester United before the Ruben Amorim era begins. As Højlund has it, edge of the penalty area, little slip, Leicester get the foot in. Nice, beautiful play by Boubakary Samare. Wonderful footwork as he plays the ball out towards Buonanotte. Too much on his ball forward though for Jordan Ayew, and it's all the way back with Andre Onana. So to Wales against Fiji, Molly Stevens.
And what a wild first half we've had, Vicky. Wales 14 Fiji 10. Tries, no tries, yellow cards, red cards. You cannot take your eyes off this game. Fiji almost had their noses in front, but the try was ruled out just before half-time, so it finishes a half-time here 14-10 to Wales.
Here come Manchester United with Ahmed down the right-hand side. Ball played into the penalty area, given away though, and Leicester will come forward. Goal at Tottenham, Henry Moran.
Spurs 0, Ipswich 1. Time and again, Spurs fall behind at home, but what a goal this is. Sami Smolic, bicycle kick beyond Vicario. It's Spurs 0, Ipswich 1.
A long way to go, but the question already for Ipswich Town fans, I think, will be, can we see something out? Long way to go, as we say. Commentary over on the BBC Sport website, and Sports Extra has Nottingham Forest against Newcastle United. Nottingham Forest still leading by a goal to 0 in that one. Here at Old Trafford, it is still Manchester United 1, Leicester City 0, as Wout Faes has the ball just inside the Leicester City half. Michael Brown.
Yeah, Leicester have done well now. They're getting control, gaining momentum, moving Manchester United around, and that bounce past wide areas is looking to do something quickly. Here we go again now as they're just pushing it right into the corner. Dalot scampering.
And Fatawi's got past him. Dalot getting back just to hold him up by the corner flag. Pulls it back to Christensen. And Didi now, 25 yards out, central position. Plays it to Boubakary Samare. Justin's on the move. Samare eventually does find him with a pass out to the right-hand side. And Didi's making a run inside the penalty area. Justin back to Samare instead, midway through the Manchester United half. As the two play it around that right-hand side. Lovely little back heel from Wilfred and Didi. Ball then in by James Justin. Headed away by Martinez. A risky ball back into the penalty area by Bruno Fernandes. Picked up now by Leicester. Harry Winks goes for the curler, and Andre Onana is right behind it.
Yeah, they tried to play out very quick on the press from Leicester City, and then they circulated the box. Winks gets that chance, pushes it onto his left foot, hits it early, tries to go for that curling effort into the far corner. Onana comfortable, only got to the centre of the goal, but much better from Leicester City. Manchester United have to get hold of it. They've had a little of a wobble here as Leicester City come into the game.
They still lead through that Bruno Fernandes goal, but it's Leicester who win the ball back again. Here is Boubakary Samare out to the left-hand side, sliding challenge by Ahmed, intercepted before it can find Ndidi. Darlow then back to Andre Onana, who is nominally closed down by Jordan Ayew, but plays it out to the left-hand side. But with the absence of Jamie Vardy, who had started every Premier League game this season, Leicester's top scorer, no Ricardo Pereira either, Leicester have responded to falling behind well, and in truth were already in the game very much at that point, certainly giving Manchester United a few things to think about. As Manchester United had the ball midway through their own half, let's head back to Nottingham Forest. Lee Blakeman.
Forest 1, Newcastle 0. Newcastle with loads of chances to equalise though. Guimaraes has had a shot from 22 yards, well saved by Matt Sells. Burns just been denied by the Forest keeper as well, and Joel Linton's headed over the crossbar. 10 to go until half time. Forest 1, Newcastle 0.
Commentary over on Sports Extra. They're playing themselves into, I'm not going to say trouble with a capital T, but maybe danger with a small D. Michael Brown, Manchester United at the back here.
I don't mind it though. I think you've got to invite the pressure, be confident to make sure you do the right things, and use the goalkeeper. They just haven't got it like fully convincing.
Here come Leicester once again. Jordan Ayew to Buonanotte, charging towards the penalty area. Lissandro Martinez gets the foot in. Buonanotte screaming for a foul on the edge of the area, not given by referee Peter Banks. VAR, I'm sure, will be having a check, but just talk to us again, Michael Brown, about the danger that Buonanotte is causing Manchester United.
Sensational give and go. When he receives it back, he's so quick how he can shift it from one to another. 3 Manchester United players in and around him. There might have been some contact. He certainly felt like there should have been a foul on the edge of the area, but referee might have got that one right.
Well, we haven't had a stoppage in play yet, so VAR may still be looking at it. As Leicester come out to this left-hand side, they just cannot retain the ball at the moment, Manchester United. And come on, Leicester, is the chant from the away fans away to our right as Vestergaard plays it over the halfway line. Here is Harry Winks. Lovely ball forward, looking for the run of Ndidi, who is really a thorn in Manchester United's side at the moment, pushing forward at every opportunity from central midfield. As Fatawi trying to get the better of Darlow, who this time wins that battle. That's turning into a real one-on-one battle, isn't it, Michael? Darlow and Fatawi, but Manchester United have given the ball away again. Here is Boubakary Samare. He's challenged well by Ugarte, who has the opportunity to carry the ball forward and plays it intelligently as he was pursued by Samare out to the left-hand side as Mazraoui brings it into the Leicester City half. 1-0 Manchester United lead. Bruno Fernandes curling a shot into the bottom corner on his 250th Manchester United appearance. And it's the home side who have possession just inside the Leicester City half. Ahmed is asking for it out on this right-hand side, but Manchester United go left instead, looking for Rashford, intercepted by Leicester, scooped forward by Samare, won't reach James Justin. So the ball goes out of play for a Leicester City throw. And Bruno Fernandes went flying in there to make that interception, and he's just standing up, caressing the left-hand side of his stomach, just above his hip there. But he looks as though he'll be able to walk it off, and Leicester City have a throw over on the far side.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We just get another look at Bruno Fernandes' finish. Really good across the goalkeeper. He sees things others players don't. That's why he's at the top of his game. He can do different things, and that leader for Manchester United. And I think what people don't obviously realise as well, an example he sets within the club, training every day. What he does, I wasn't sure what he did, but people tell me now he's fantastic with the example of what he does every single day, and that's a real plus point. You can see that in his game now. He's confident, wants to make things happen. He's got some special ability when he wants to pass forward as well.
Here goes Marcus Rashford down the left-hand side, pulls the ball back to Nusayr Mazraoui, cuts it back to Rashford once more. Hoyland's pointing to where he wants it and lays it off to Casemiro. His delivery in is chested down very calmly indeed by Victor Christensen. He knew that Ahmed was to his right, so he had to deal with it, but falls to his knees and chests it back to his goalkeeper, Mads Hermansen.
Yeah, again, now you talk about Manchester United playing out in front of the press. Leicester City say it's okay, we'll do it, we'll take it on. And why do they have the confidence so much? And Manchester United is still a little bit nervous in moving it around that defensive area.
And they're in possession here, Manchester United, with Lisandro Martinez on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. They lead by a goal to nil. Marcus Rashford picks it up midway through the Leicester half. Nice ball to United's goal scorer Bruno Fernandes. Now back to Ugarte. Out to the left-hand side he goes, and Mazraoui plays it in. Almost goes all the way through. But Bruno Fernandes gets the vital touch and gets his second goal of the game. Hoyland had tumbled before, but Bruno Fernandes didn't wait to see whether there'd be a penalty. He sticks it in from close range, and just as it was in the League Cup where he got a brace against Leicester here, he's got a brace here in the Premier League. It's Manchester United 2, Leicester 0.
He's playing well, his understanding, his intelligence, when to run, when to stay, when to pass into positions. But they do really well, Manchester United, move it down the left-hand side, and then the delivery, that in-swinging ball. Bruno Fernandes just times it centrally, and as the ball comes in, he had one at West Ham that he couldn't convert. This time he watches it all the way, just heads it into the ground. Real example. It goes into the roof of the net from the ground. Great run, great contact. Maybe not as clean as I thought when I get another look, but he did his job.
Yeah, he heads it down, and it ends up deflecting in off Victor Christensen. But it's one of those, as you say, Michael, it's an intelligent header. It's stooping, he's heading it towards the ground. Actually comes off his own thigh first, then onto Christensen. So perhaps a little bit of fortuitousness about it. And he's saying as he walks away,
he meant it. I've got to say, he meant it now. Yeah, he meant it off his head, off his front of his hair stroke thigh as he hits it into the ground. But it's a great run, wasn't it? Great delivery. A bit of fortune for Manchester United.
Yeah, that's what he's saying to Casemiro as he runs away. He's pointing to the top of his thigh and saying, see what I did there? And what he did was put Manchester United.
I'd gone big on him, see, hadn't I? I'd gone big on him about the example around the training ground, what he's been doing. He's the shining light, he's the leader. And I thought he'd done everything right, and he got a bit lucky off his thigh.
Well, it all went right in the end.
He did what he did, didn't he? He got what he needed.
Well. And Manchester United lead by 2 goals to nil. Let's head back shortly. Though Leicester are coming forward, we will be heading back to Tottenham very shortly, but Leicester in possession. They're all the way back in the centre circle. So let's go to Henry Moran at Tottenham Ipswich.
Still Spurs 0, Ipswich 1. That goal from Smodic around about the half-hour mark, the difference. Spurs have been struggling to find their way back into this game. It's Ipswich who are frustrating them. Congratulations to them for their game plan. It's been outstanding. Spurs 0, Ipswich 1.
Commentary over on the BBC Sport website. Nottingham Forest still leading Newcastle by a goal to nil, and you can listen to that over on 5 Sports Extra. Here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, Manchester United lead Leicester by 2 goals to nil. Here is Yannick Vestergaard, plays it forward to Harry Winks, and now Christensen out to the left-hand side, and Didi just sees it brush off the top of his thigh. But unlike Bruno Fernandes, who saw that ball end up in the back of the Leicester net. Indeed, he doesn't get the bounce of luck, and it's out of play for a Manchester United throw.
Great reaction from Ruud van Nistelrooy. When there's any sort of pressure, he's there, he's animated. He'll be enjoying it. He'll think this is easy, won't he? Just step straight down to the front, orchestrate, and you get your wins.
Now to the right-hand side go Manchester United, wind in their sails now as Ahmad goes for the curler. It's well blocked away by Harry Winks on the edge of the penalty area. Buonanotte comes charging out of defence and tries to retain possession for Leicester, but Manchester United pick it up and have it with De Ligt on the halfway line.
Yeah, Manchester United looking slick. As he comes in, Ahmed really good again. With that left foot, he's looking for any angle. Here he goes.
And he's found by Bruno Fernandes. Here he is, right wing Ahmed. Chips it back to Fernandes. That's a beautiful control to keep it in. Nice little interchange of passes with Casemiro. Might break for Ugarte, who was blocked off as he shot by Boubakary Samare. Ball spins out to the left-hand side and is now with Marcus Rashford, who whips it in fast with the header, and Hermansen with the claim. And Manchester United still lead Leicester by 2-0. 3 minutes to go in this first half.
I tell you what is interesting in the setup. Do you know, we see patient build-up, wider positions, and you come back, circulate and move. And is it maybe a bit of Ruud van Nistelrooy? When you're in the wide areas, I'm the striker, we've got a number 9, stick the ball straight, and every chance Rashford's had, or Mazraoui's tried to fizz it right across, and that'll be the intent, and that's what he'll have wanted as a player.
Leicester charging down the right-hand side. Ball from Ayew looking for James Justin, who's done really well to get there. 2 players sliding in for Manchester United. Well, Justin wants the corner. It's been given as a goal kick. Goal at Tottenham, Henry Moran.
Tottenham 0, Ipswich 2, and Liam Delap has scored from close range. Quick breakaway, Spurs with errors at the back once again. And Ipswich, who have yet to pick up a win in this Premier League season, have a 2-goal lead at Tottenham. Tottenham 0, Ipswich 2.
Michael Brown, your thoughts?
Oh, thanks very much for that. I'm waiting for the Spurs reaction. You know, on Friday night in the Friday social on 5 Live, I actually said this is going to be the highest scoring game, with the banker of the week being Spurs. So I'm under a little bit of pressure now. We might have more goals.
Well, if we do, you'll hear them on 5 Live, and also you can listen over on the BBC Sport website. Nottingham Forest against Newcastle over on 5 Sports Extra. Forest still lead 1-0 in that game as their superb start to this season continues. Here at Old Trafford in Ruud van Nistelrooy's final game before the Ruben Amorim era begins. It's 2-0 to Manchester United, and they have a throw midway through the Leicester half.
I don't like that game anyway. I try not to answer these questions. We need to get rid of it. It doesn't do you any good on a weekend when that doesn't come in.
Well, we both made a pre-match score prediction, didn't we? Because that's what we do as commentators. But maybe let's say at the end of the game
leave
if
it
we got
for
it
now,
right.
Please. I can't have another one.
But we both said the same thing.
Well, we're on.
Ours
are on at the moment. Ours are on, so we'll see. But don't tell anybody yet.
Out to the left-hand side. Here goes Marcus Rashford. He's challenged and will win a throw over on that far side. No, he won't. Ball didn't spin out of play. Rashford went down, wanted the free kick, but referee Peter Banks, as he has been for most of this first half, generally happy to let the game flow. Ugarte wins it back. Buonanotte is down over on the far side. Then that was a heavy challenge on Justin. A little bit of frustration there from Manchester United and Rashford. Free kick to Leicester City. And Peter Banks, who's he calling over here? It looks as though it might be Ugarte, but he's been told to go away. Buonanotte and Justin are getting to their feet, and Peter Banks is just having a word here with the 2 captains, Harry Winks and Bruno Fernandes. And it will be Ugarte in the end who is called over. The initial challenge was his on Buonanotte, and then it's the second one I think that Peter Banks isn't happy with, just a little late on James Justin.
I think he's going tight, but when you look at it, I don't think there was too much, of a problem. There's somebody going tight. Yes, there's a bit of contact. Harry Winks just been brought over, had a little word and just said, come on, let's be sure. But the white line's all over James Justin. He's covered, isn't he, in the line. But, Ruud van Nistelrooy, arms folded, stood in that technical area. He's got to be delighted. I'm just seeing Casemiro, the ball was booted into the sky. Casemiro just sort of ran over as if he was just playing in a field and just brought the ball down, and that tells you you're playing with confidence and enjoying your football.
So, free kick taken by Mads Hermansen, the Leicester goalkeeper, up towards the edge of the penalty area. Yannick Vestergaard had gone up for that, even though that free kick is only a few yards up from the edge of Leicester's penalty area. Looking to get a goal back late on in this first half as we enter 2 minutes of added time here at Old Trafford. Manchester United leading by 2-0. 2 goals for captain Bruno Fernandes on his 250th appearance as Darlow slides in. Now, this is an interesting one. Darlow's dived in, looks as though he's got the ball, but has taken a bit of Fatawu as well. It's going to be a free kick to Leicester.
Watch the referee. Sorry, Vicky. Do you know, when you see him, he's saying you had some shirt. And he did. So he's saying you're pulling the shirt back. He's into an advanced position down the left-hand side. He's always got away from him. And then the tackle comes in. It's a good tackle after that, but the delay was with the pull. Why does he not issue the yellow card? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely could have been. It was a good position for Ugarte, and I think again it's
you can't
the
pull
accumulation.
Shirt, can you? That's the point. You can't
and the accumulation
pull the shirt.
of it as well. As we say, that is turning into a really key battle in
really
this game.
Good. He's exciting, isn't he? Pushing it past him.
He's doing really well for Taru. And it's interesting, I'd say possibly Dallo at the moment is just shading it, but when he does get past him, he's down to the byline, and it's so dangerous. Here is this free kick for Leicester. Harry Winks is about to take it. Peter Banks, again, I don't know if this is commentator's curse, but ever since I've said that Peter Banks has generally let this game flow, he seems to be blowing the whistle at every occasion. Harry Winks is about to take that free kick for Leicester. He's seen something, Peter Banks, on the edge of the area, a bit of pushing and shoving. He's saying no more of that. And now Leicester will string this set piece in, and Michael Brown shakes his head as Harry Winks leaves it this time for Buonanotte. Sends the ball in. It's a decent delivery. Manchester United clear it with Bruno Fernandes eventually, and that's a good ball forward from Ugarte, but can't reach it himself. He ran after his own pass forward. Christensen gets there, and Hermansen will send it back out to the right hand side as Leicester whip it forward. Cleared away by Casemiro. Just a little bit stretched at the moment, Leicester, after that set piece, and Ahmed could take advantage. Ahmed into the penalty area. Brilliant save by Hermansen, and hacked away to safety for Leicester City. What a run by Ahmed. That's the half-time whistle. Well, that would have capped off a very decent half indeed for Manchester United. It's been Bruno Fernandes' half, but Ahmed as well deserves such credit for the way that he's played. He's just got back up to his feet. The disappointment in his face, because that was a brilliant bit of skill and a really good save by Hermansen to keep it 2-0 at half-time.
Christian from wide area tries to play the ball in. I knew Leicester City were open. The ball comes into Ahmed, and he darts through the centre. 3 Leicester players. Because of the pace he travels with, as he pushes on that left foot, everything opens up. I think, here you go, certain goal. Goalkeeper sort of dives to the left, and he goes to go down the middle. I think a bit of composure in his finish in the far corner. He scores. Great save from Hermansen with his feet, but sensational counter-attack at the end of this first half from Manchester United.
Very good half for Manchester United. Leicester have been decent though, would you say?
Yeah, they've really showed some promise. They've created some opportunities. Indeed, when he goes through, he must score in that position. Good save from Manada, that changes it, but clinical from Manchester United.
So half-time, and Ruud van Nistelrooy's final game in charge as interim manager, and it looks as though he's well set to finish this stint unbeaten, because it's Manchester United 2, Leicester City 0.
Thank you very much. Both Bruno Fernandes applauds as he runs down the tunnel, deep in conversation a moment ago with Amad Diallo. Could they be the 2 number 10s under the next Manchester United manager, Ruben Amorim? So Manchester United 2, Leicester 0. Second half commentary to come here on 5 Live on 5 Sports Extra. Half time at the City Ground. Forest Newcastle, Lee Blakeman.
Forest 1.
Hello, and we are back with the second, with the halftime talk, halftime analysis. It's Manchester United 2, Leicester City 1, 0. Sorry, and it's been a very topsy-turvy second half. If you look at the stats on your screen, you see Manchester United with 2 goals, yes, which is an advantage. Then possession 57.5 for United, 42.5 for Leicester City. Then shot is 9 for United, 5 for City. Shot on goal 22, 2 for United, 4 for Leicester City. I don't understand. Just 2 for United. I think that should be shot on goal. That should be a little bit different. Then we talk about corner kicks, 1 for each side. And I think it's something that United should be delighted of. In terms of slick play, United have been losing. In terms of the all-round play, United have been losing the ball left, right, centre. It's something that I am not happy about. They have to look at themselves, the plum of the players, and tell themselves the truth that losing the ball in some dangerous position is not. It should not be in that way. Losing the ball in some areas should not be in that way. But hopefully, there will be small adjustment being made by Ruud van Nistelrooy, and the team will do well going forward. So, what's your take about the second half of this match between United and Leicester City? And what do you think United should improve in terms of their all-round play? Kindly subscribe to Fancy Football, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and let's see where and support the channel to grow. We're just supporting the channel to grow, but it's been a wonderful game for United. Good football, good 2 goals from Bruno Fernandes, the captain, and Leicester also had their own as well. Benanotto, Fatwa, Ayu, indeed, he had a glorious chance to equalize for his team, but he didn't take that chance. But it's been good. It's been wonderful. Like I said, it's been all United all the way. Not all United all the way, but it's been a fabulous display for Manchester United. So hopefully, let's see where the second half will take us to. Let's see where United will be at the end of the day, at the end of this match. So still within grabs, hopefully. So let's see. So let's see what's gonna happen. So it's been really good display from Manchester United. Wonderful display. Wonderful display. So let's see. So what's your take about the match? What's your take about this match? What's your take about everything that has just transpired in the match? I think for me the most in the intriguing area of the match is when United. I think well, the losing of the ball from Manchester United. We lose the ball in areas that in areas that are very dangerous. So I think that needs to be taken care of. That needs to be watched over by these players. They need to check how how they are losing the ball. I think it's very important that they don't lose the ball in critical areas to give Leicester City a chance to bounce back. So so let's see how the second half will fare. So it's good to have, and we hope that we join. It will be a wonderful second half. And two other games that have been played currently, Nottingham Forest are leading Newcastle by a goal to nil. And wow, what a game at the London Stadium where Tottenham are losing at home to Ipswich. Ipswich have not won a game this season. Will this be their um first win of the season? Let's hope and see if that will happen for them. I think it's been a wonderful match for them as well. So let's see how that one goes. What else again? What else again are we looking at? So we'll see. So it's still Manchester United too. So let's talk. Let's keep talking. Kindly subscribe. Let's send in your comment if you have comments. Send in. Send in. So let me see. So let's see where it takes us to. Man United. See where it takes us to. Yeah. So we'll be back to Old Trafford shortly. Back to Old Trafford in the next 5 minutes. Yeah, we'll be back. So let's see. Let's see. So match is still on. So okay, let's see. Next up after these three matches will be Chelsea against Arsenal. So let's see how that one shape up, and hopefully let's see how the match goes between these two sides. And hopefully we'll see. So let's join the second half of this match between Manchester United and Leicester City. And it's still Nottingham Forest 1, Newcastle 0, Tottenham Spurs 0, and Ipswich Town, Ipswich 0. So let's see. So, exactly.
4:30 with John Murray and Matt Upson here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as the ball is swung into the area, cleared away by Manchester United and almost picks up on this right-hand side by Fatawu, who shields the ball well from Ugarte. I'm just going to play devil's advocate on that incident over there.
The Cole Palmer one? About breaking news.
About Casemiro. That stopped me arguing with you.
Yeah, it did.
Cynicalness is the only thing I see.
No,
with John Murray and Matt
Upson. No, he's come across, got his body in the way.
Sounds,
and I think again, Fatawu plays
away
well
by Manchester
to win
United
it, about engineering, make
picks
sure
up on this right-hand
the referee gives you it. And I think
shields
that's the difference.
Well
that's why I would
Ugarte.
say Casemiro is unlucky because he's done his job.
About
the Cole Palmer
Leicester City in possession.
Breaking news.
The centre circle to the left-hand side with Christensen. His own goal has given Manchester United the 2-0 lead in the first half as Fatawu just doesn't quite get his eye in for that pass, gives the ball away. Sliding challenge by Harry Winks is a brilliant one on the halfway line to stop the Manchester United counter, and Leicester City can sweep forward once again. Here is Ndidi, who's been so lively so far. Fatawu fires that ball into Darlow. I mean, it's one of these where, yes, it's a poor cross, but it almost seemed that he was just annoyed and wanted to boot it into any Manchester United player at the moment. But Manchester United bring it forward down the right-hand side, leading by 2-0 on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as Bruno Fernandes out to the left-hand side, feeds Marcus Rashford. He's got Mazraoui on the overlap. Rashford into the penalty area, trying to feed Fernandes. Almost comes back to Rashford, very calmly dealt with by Boubakary Soumaré. And then Ayew goes down. Again, he doesn't get a decision from referee Peter Banks as Casemiro picks it up just outside the Leicester penalty area. And Ndidi's foot in. Here goes Fatawu. He's only got Ayew ahead of him. He's still inside his own penalty area. And he'll check and play the ball back to Ayew. Goal at Tottenham, Henry Moran.
Tottenham think that they've got one back at the moment. It's Spurs 1, Ipswich 2. Dominic Solanke firing home from a corner. Some cries of handball. It's gone to VAR. Just having a look at it now. Ooh, it's going to be tight, this one. Come back to me. At the moment, Spurs 1, Ipswich 2.
We will be right back with you, Henry. Commentary over on the BBC Sport website. Is that ball forward? Too much on it for Jordan Ayew. And Andre Onana claims for Manchester United. Michael Brown.
He's left us in suspense there, Henry, hasn't he? I thought he would just say whether it was going to be or not. He's had a look at it, but he's obviously very close. He's not committed. But yeah, Leicester City, good spell again now. Harry Winks starting to dictate in the middle of the pitch. Great forward passing. He does that very well. That slick first touch and firm into a forward area. And they're now starting to get in better positions, but they've got to find a way quickly to get a goal back.
Ball is with Lisandro Martinez just outside the Manchester United penalty area. So yes, Leicester with Hermansen in goal. The back four of Justin, Fass, Vestergaard and Christensen. Ahead of them Soumaré, Ndidi and Winks with Fatawu, Buonanotte and Ayew. News from Tottenham, Henry Moran.
Goal doesn't stand, comes off the arm of Dominic Solanke on its way into the back of the net, so it remains Tottenham 0, Ipswich 2.
And a try in the rugby, Molly Stevens.
Wales 14, Fiji 21. Joshua Tuisova extends Fiji's lead. No conversion, but the Welsh coaching staff look stressed. Wales 14, Fiji 21.
And you can listen to BBC Wales commentary online via the BBC Sport website. Here, it's Manchester United 2, Leicester 0. Leicester with the throw over on the far side here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 5 Live delighted to be bringing you even more commentaries than ever before over the next 4 seasons with our new audio rights deal with the Premier League. We are delighted to be able to do that with you for the foreseeable future, and we love having your company here with us as Leicester City play the ball back to Hermansen. Hoyland closes him down, but Hermansen will take his time with the clearance out towards the left-hand side where Ndidi pops up. Seems to be everywhere at the moment, Wilfred Ndidi, but he's lost possession. Here come Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes pulls it back to Ugarte, and now Mazraoui just bounces off his knee just outside the D, but he will still retain possession. Out to the left-hand side, and Marcus Rashford will pick it up for Manchester United. Mazraoui on the overlap, and Leicester didn't really pay attention to that. Mazraoui down to the byline, pulls the ball across, cleared away by the head of Vestergaard. Bruno Fernandes drives the ball through the middle, not quite sure what he's trying there, and Hermansen collects it. Where shall we go next? Goal at Nottingham Forest, Lee Blakeman.
Equaliser for Newcastle. It has been coming since half-time. Forest 1, Newcastle 1. Corner sent in. It fell to Isak. Shot across goal. Hit the post on its way in. Into the bottom corner. And Newcastle have what you have to call a deserved equaliser at the City Ground. Forest 1, Newcastle 1.
Commentary continues over on 5 Sports Extra. Here are Leicester City sweeping down the left-hand side with Victor Christensen getting the royal blue shirts forward. And Ndidi's on the edge of the penalty area. Fatawu has possession now. And just stops and slows the play down and Balls it back to Harry Winks, who gets the ball back from Ndidi. Will now spray it out to this right-hand side. Every player, bar Mads Hermansen, the Leicester goalkeeper, inside the Manchester United half at the moment, including Wout Faes, who's almost found by a back heel from Buonanotte. James Justin then almost takes it off his own teammate. Buonanotte goes down, fouled by Ugarte, free kick Leicester, just shy of 30 yards central position. Talk us through that then, Michael Brown.
Buonanotte coming across, and then Justin's getting in the way, and you can see Ugarte waiting to see can he sort of get any contact on the ball. It's sort of a little right-left, bit of contact, does it so well, and then right across. That challenge comes, he's down, he's central. It's a good position from a free kick. This will be a key moment for Leicester City as we just see Johnny Evans, Garnacho all stripped, ready to come on. We'll talk about that soon. It's an interesting change when we get it, but can anyone get that quality? Can anybody trouble Onana? We've seen him tested a couple of times, but straight at his gloves. This has got to be on point.
Yeah, made a big save from Wilfred Ndidi in the first half, Andre Onana. Leicester City looking to test him here. Leicester, who have won just 4 of their 34 Premier League games against Manchester United. 2 of those came at Old Trafford. Got a really poor record here. They were thumped in the League Cup, very different side, a couple of games ago, 5-2. But they put in a good account of themselves here. Manchester United leading by 2-0. They've been very good. Leicester have been decent. They have this free kick.
They just decided who's going to take it. Harry Winks walks forward. There's 4 members right in front of the wall. You've got that draft excluder behind. They're fully trying to screen the goalkeeper's view. What we're going to see here, Harry Winks has just gone forward, then come back to the actually position on the ball. You might see something clever.
Yeah, Peter Banks has blown the whistle. Then Harry Winks comes back. He will play it into that Leicester wall. They've completely made a mess of it. Marcus Rashford can't run it clear though, but Manchester United have dealt with the immediate danger. Whatever they were trying there, Leicester, it didn't work as Christensen comes down the left-hand side, sliding interception by Ahmed. He's done well to keep it in over on the far side as well. Manchester United leading 2-0 here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as Ahmed picks it up on the halfway line and just slows the play down and sends it back to Casemiro, who'll steer it all the way back to Diogo Dalot.
What they tried to do is they tried to bounce it into that wall that I said, that Leicester screen. Harry Winks run and follow, and then he's going to try and curl it in the bottom corner. Rashford does very well, he's alert, he sees it. And that's the difference for Manchester United, and it didn't look very good in the end, that Leicester City free kick. Fatawi
stopped in his tracks, and Højlund has it down the left-hand side for Manchester United as they counter. Marcus Rashford there in support, but Højlund driving in field towards the penalty area. Bruno Fernandes on the slide, steers it to Ugarte. It was almost an interception there, but it was an attacking one as Rashford swings it in. Fast knees it away. Fernandes will head it back into the penalty area on the edge of the box. He's complaining to referee Peter Banks, but now is climbing to his feet with the official uninterested. It's Manchester United build down the right-hand side. Here is Ahmed, lays it off to Diogo Dalot, plays the ball into the penalty area, headed away by Wout Faes, and Victor Christensen should be able to clear the ball away. In fact, he won't need to because the whistle's gone. It's a free kick to Leicester on the edge of their own 6-yard box.
Yeah, good overload down the right-hand side. Dalot just comes. There's a little bit of a problem with Bruno Fernandes, but as he makes the box, he comes in and the contact was strong, and the referee decides he was going to give a foul. But again, Dalot, whether he's injured, whether he's not won that battle down that left-hand side, stroke right-back area for Manchester United, we'll soon see. But interesting change where Johnny Evans is going to go. Mazraoui's probably going to go to right-back. Martinez is going to go to left-back. Johnny Evans is going to sit in the middle of the pitch.
So Marcus Rashford also makes way, and Alejandro Garnacho, who was the only player who dropped out of the starting lineup from their last Premier League game against Chelsea, is on. So let's head to the Scottish Premiership. Kilmarnock against Celtic just getting underway. Kenny Crawford.
15 minutes gone. Yeah, it's Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 0, but Adam Ida, the former Norwich City forward, has been involved in a lot of action so far. He mishit a chance from 8 yards when Celtic were through, and then he got hit in the face by Joe Wright, the Kilmarnock defender, in an aerial challenge. For a minute I wondered whether it was going to be a red card. It was only yellow for Joe Wright, who's been sent off twice already this season. And then just there, Corey Ndaba, former Ipswich Town defender, had a shot which tested Kasper Schmeichel. But Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 0 so far.
Stoppage here because Bruno Fernandes, having seen Manchester United make those 2 changes, has sat down holding the back of his head. Now that is what happened just before Manchester United made those 2 changes. It was right on the edge of the penalty area. We've not seen a replay yet, but he's absolutely furious, Bruno Fernandes, and clearly he has taken quite a whack on the back of his head. Michael Brown's thoughts on that in a moment, but let's head to the rugby. Molly Stevens.
Ellis Bevan's try brings Wales to within 2 points of Fiji. Sam Costello misses the conversion and the opportunity to equal the score. It's Wales 19, Fiji 21.
Fernandes is up to his feet. Team news from Stamford Bridge, John Murray.
Well, the main news is that Cole Palmer is fit, plays for Chelsea, and for Arsenal, both Odegaard and Rice are in the team. So the Chelsea side in full, Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Fofana, Colwill and Cucurella, so James is among the substitutes, Caicedo and Lavia, Madueke, Palmer, Neto and Jackson. And the Arsenal side, Raya in goal, back four of White, Saliba, Gabriel and Timber. That means there is that midfield of Partey, Odegaard and Rice, with Saka and Martinelli wide, and Havertz through the middle, and Trossard and Marino both named among the subs.
Thanks very much, John. John will bring us full commentary here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds this afternoon with Matt Upson from 4:30, followed by 6:06 with Robbie and Chris. Have your say on all the weekend's footballing action as Samare wins possession for Leicester City. Bruno Fernandes still off the pitch at the moment, but waiting to come back on. So Manchester United leading 2-0, temporarily down to 10. Over on the far side, Leicester are trying to retain possession with Fatawu. He's done well, he's won a throw, and Bruno Fernandes is back on. Michael Brown.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it, with Rashford coming off the pitch. I think Ahmed's done very, very well. Someone said to me in the press room at half-time, best player on the pitch so far, which is an interesting one, who comes and watches Manchester United and covers their games a lot. Garnacho getting opportunities, the game's open up, you know what his pace can bring, and Leicester just a bit sloppy there with the passing, but they've had to adjust a lot as well for the Dalot one. You know, for that change with Johnny Evans, is he carrying something, or has he not won that one that we thought it was an interesting battle?
Absolutely, with Abdul Fatawu, who is now up against Mazraoui, who, as Michael says, has gone over to right back. Lisandro Martinez at left back, and Johnny Evans, the former Leicester City captain, slotting in at centre half alongside Matthias de Ligt. And here is Johnny Evans on the ball out to the left hand side, and Martinez will now play it back to Andre Onana. Jordan Ayew closes him down, so de Ligt will pick up possession and play it down that right hand side. Goes out of play for a Leicester throw. Might have got a little deflection off Ndidi there, but the assistant on the far side doesn't agree. It's all the way back with Mads Hermansen.
Like you say, Johnny Evans coming on against his former team. He just keeps getting more minutes, doesn't he? More appearances. Great example to any youngster who wants to further the career in the game. That's what he sets. He just keeps his feet on the ground. When he doesn't go so well, he just gets on with it, keeps coming back. Great example, and he'll be teaching those youngsters so much within that football club.
And he was such a big player for Manchester United last season because of those defensive injuries. Signed a new one-year deal this summer as Onana clears away, 36 years of age, and did say it was probably sign a new deal here or retire. He is getting to that sort of stage, but what a servant he's been to Manchester United. Brilliant. And to so many clubs.
And to the game as well, so many clubs.
James Justin coming down the right-hand side. All good ball in for Ayew. Edge of the penalty area. He's well held up by Lisandro Martinez. Still in possession for Leicester, out to the right-hand side. And James Justin, who swings it in left-footed. Nobody really in there in a blue shirt. Easy header away for Casemiro on the edge of his own 6-yard box. And Garnacho down this left-hand side with the holes cut out in the back of his socks. Will spread the ball out to the right-hand side. But Ahmed wasn't quite where he thought he would be. And it's a throw to Leicester.
It's one of those, right, where you're just going to try and spray it, like really ping the ball hard and low right across it. Looks sensational, and he just got it wrong and it fizzed away. You can make the safe pass, but I don't mind. Have the confidence to try it, and that's what he did. He didn't get it right. He'll try it again.
Leicester in possession. Also, perhaps, coming onto the pitch, wanting to prove himself a little bit, having been the only player to drop out from their last Premier League game.
When you're 2 up and you're coming on, you can try that type of ball, can't you? I'll just fizz it across. Just one of those, just slightly behind him, fizzed off the top of the wet surface and away for a throw, but it's just settled down. The game's gone a little bit flat. Manchester United won't be in any rush. It's now up to Leicester City to come and change it, come and make something, affect it, get into wide positions, get it into strikers' feet, create an opportunity. That's maybe what they haven't done in the last few moments.
As Lisandro Martinez goes down, free kick to Manchester United. Midway inside their own half. And let's head to Burnley in the Championship. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. Sani Radravajula.
20 gone, Burnley 0, Swansea City 0. Burnley starting today in the playoffs, and they are having lots of joy on both flanks. Just winning a free kick on the edge of the area. Chances so far, but have missed them. Burnley 0, Swansea City 0.
Thanks very much, Sani. Lisandro Martinez is still down here. There's been a yellow card brandished by referee Peter Banks for Facundo Buonanotte for his challenge on Lisandro Martinez. He was just stretching to try and win the ball, but did miss time at the 19-year-old, although, got to say, how much contact actually is there?
Well, it's late, but he's not in control, and it is right, the referee's right on top of it, issues the yellow card. I think there's any complaints. They don't look, because the impact's not strong on the side of your leg, but that stud that just clips you can be worse than anything if it catches you right on the ankle bone. Sometimes it's so sore, back of the Achilles or side of the knee, etc., where there's a bit of bone, and he's just feeling it, isn't he, under a little bit of treatment. Like I said to you, they'll make sure he's okay. There won't be in any sort of rush. Steve Cooper there now at the front, just calling Ayew over. Obviously the experienced striker, just to say, right, let's do this, let's get on the ball. Midfield 2, Harry Winks just having a chat. It's gone really flat in the stadium. Now as concentration levels, when the ball restarts, what can you do to affect it? I see good players and wide players and excitement all in their boots, but it's at times when it is certain stages of games is how can you affect it? What can you do next to make sure you win the game?
Michael Brown with us here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. If you're just getting home, incidentally, you can listen via your smart speaker. Just say play BBC Radio 5 Live, and listen on the go with the BBC Sounds app as well. You can rewind and play back if you missed the 2 Manchester United goals in the first half and you'd like to listen back, then you can do that via the BBC Sounds app. So Lisandro Martinez is up to his feet. He's getting ready to come back on. Andre Onana is preparing to take this free kick for Manchester United, and incidentally Facundo Buonanotte has now picked up 5 yellow cards in the Premier League this season, so he will miss Leicester's next game, which is at home to Chelsea after the international break, which is a blow for them. 19 years of age, on loan from Brighton, wanted more game time, although he did play pretty regularly at Brighton last season and did well for them, but was very much impressed here at Leicester as they clear the ball away through Wout Faes.
Welcome to the City Ground. Just a few problems at Old Trafford. So here it is Nottingham Forest 1, Newcastle 1. Lee Blakeman with you here doing this particular match, which is very, very finely poised. We've got a Forest free kick midway through the half on their left, so just stay with us for this, because Anthony Elanga is getting ready to send this in with his right foot. Dan Burns lucky to still be on the pitch, nearly got a second yellow for the challenge which has led to this. Elanga with the delivery. Is it going to fall for a red shirt on the edge of the area? Not quite. Here goes Jota Silva though. Can he get a shot away? No, and Newcastle will bring the ball clear. Let's go back to Steve Crossman now with this game. Forest 1, Newcastle 1, Steve.
Thank you very much, Lee. Yeah, we'll see if we can get you back to Old Trafford shortly. We're obviously having some issues there. Tottenham are having their own issues against Ipswich Town in the Premier League. Henry Moran.
Are they ever? We're past the hour mark. Spurs 0, Ipswich 2. Ipswich the only side in the Premier League yet to pick up 3 points, and they've got a 2-goal lead against the Tottenham side that are calling on the services of Timo Werner to try and find a way through. If anything, in this second half, Ipswich have come closer to adding to their lead. Some brilliant work from Delap to outmuscle Romero and Porro. Hutchinson then firing over. Here comes Timo Werner to try and offer some impetus. It remains Spurs 0, Ipswich 2.
Big chance for Newcastle at the City Ground. Lee.
I was going to say, Steve, I threw back to you just at the wrong time there, didn't I? Because it was Newcastle on the counter with Anthony Gordon, fed it through to Isak, put in a shot. It looked like it was going to be destined for the bottom corner, just went wide. They're bringing on Sandro Tonali here, Newcastle, in place of Joe Willock, just past the midway point of the second half. What a game this is. Nottingham Forest 1, Newcastle United 1.
Let's take you back to the Principality Stadium, Wales, Fiji, Molly.
Yeah, Fiji thought they'd extended their lead with a try. No try because of a forward pass, but they did have a penalty. 3 points were kicked. It is Wales 19, Fiji 24. Just over 5 minutes left to play here, and just worth remembering that Fiji have never won in Cardiff. Could today be the day that changes? Wales 19, Fiji 24.
Let's go to Rugby Park. Any sign of a breakthrough in that Scottish Premiership game between Kilmarnock and Celtic? Kenny.
There almost was there, Steve. It's still Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 0, but a period of Celtic pressure at the moment. Captain Callum McGregor received the ball at the edge of the box following a corner from Arnie Engels and absolutely blasted one left foot, and it just went wide of the post, and it was thanks to Robbie McCrory. He got a touch on it. It's another corner, but Kelly have up until this point been surviving quite well and indeed creating chances themselves. David Watson miscued after some good link-up play between Brad Lyons and Kyle Vassell, and David Watson, who's got a couple of goals already this season, wasn't able to put that one in the back of the net. But a huge Celtic support behind the goal that the corner is currently being taken at. A bit of a delay at the moment, but Kelly, it'll be interesting to see whether they can keep up the intensity that they're showing at the moment. They're pressing absolutely everything. How long can their fitness hold that up? It's Kelly 0, Celtic 0 at the moment.
Rangers play Hearts in the late game. That one gets underway at 5 o'clock. Already today in the Championship, Sheffield United beat Sheffield Wednesday in the Steel City derby by 1-0. So the Blades go up to second. It finished Hull 1, West Brom 2. West Brom moved back into the top 6. What about Burnley Swansea at Turf Moor? Sani Rudravajula.
26 minutes gone here, Steve. Burnley 0, Swansea City 0. It's been all claret so far. Biggest chance on 90 minutes. Zian Fleming, a cross coming in from a corner. Free header, just heading wide. Lawrence Vigouroux in the Swansea goal, being tested a couple of times. I don't know if you saw this as well. Match of the Day tweeted this out. Vigouroux, former Burnley man, it was asked would he get booed at his old club, and he said, I don't think I'll get any boos, because unless they were watching the warm-ups, they won't know who I am. He played no games for Burnley as a substitute, but he's having a test so far. 27 gone. Burnley 0, Swansea City 0.
You're up to date with all the live football, so thankfully we can take you back to Old Trafford. And Vicky,
welcome back. Michael and I were having a great time. We didn't realise you'd gone anywhere, listeners. We did some great analysis on James Justin. We've seen a Leicester corner, but it's still Manchester United 2, Leicester 0, 20 minutes to go in this second half. And Wilfred Ndidi has just been replaced by Bilal Al-Hanous for Leicester. And a word in Ndidi, Michael, because he's played this advanced role from midfield, but he has absolutely put in a shift and had that big chance, didn't he, in the first half, which Onana saved.
Big chances, ran everywhere, high intensity runs, and it will take it out of you, that's for certain. I think he's done well in the game and the role that his manager asked him to do. And it was just that one save, that one little bit of execution which nearly made that game plan absolutely sensational from the manager. And it wasn't meant to be. So you've got to make changes now. You've got to try and roll the dice, try and do something different, because it is going a little bit flat, the game, and Leicester City can't allow that. They've got to try and get a goal very, very soon.
Well, they're in position here. Here is Boubakary Samare, close down by Ugarte, and now Harry Winks. As they knock it around in the Manchester United half, down the left-hand side they come, cleared away from the penalty area. Goal at Nottingham Forest, Lee Blakeman.
Newcastle have turned it around. Forest 1, Newcastle 2. Joel Linton picking up the ball, edge of the area, left foot curler. Great goal. Less than 20 minutes to go. Forest 1, Newcastle 2.
Oh, Alejandro Garnacho, what have you done there? He's broken towards the Leicester penalty area. He's done ever so well, and then just at the moment, as he was about to pull the trigger on the angle, he slipped over, lost his footing, lost the ball. It's gone behind for a Leicester goal kick, which they've taken already. Garnacho is still down. It looks as though, in falling awkwardly and getting his feet in a muddle, he might have done himself some damage there. Leicester playing on. I'm not sure Peter Banks is aware of what's happened. He has had a look. He must have seen Garnacho there in his eye line, but he's allowing Leicester to play on. Boos around Old Trafford.
He's got no choice.
He's got no choice.
He has to play on. It's Leicester City's job now, responsibility whether they want to put it out. He might have done his wrist, actually.
Well, I guess it's if he feels it's a serious injury, he can stop it. But now Johnny Evans has the ball, so Manchester United can play it out. It's actually hit Peter Banks, change of possession, so it will be Manchester United's ball. And Garnacho, thankfully, is up to his feet.
Do you know, when we're looking at that and we're thinking he's got to stop the whole game, he's about 2 metres from the touchline. The medical staff are right next to him. He only has to walk to them, doesn't he? Do you know, so to be fair, they're in no rush, but obviously ricochets into the referee. He then decides that's it, and now we get a drop ball. We're just looking again, great turn of pace from Garnacho. He tries to chop it back really late, and that makes him slip, and he just obviously rolls onto his wrist, and he's in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he's still holding that left wrist, Alejandro Garnacho. He's not had the impact he would have wanted since coming off the bench. That was a big chance, and he completely got it all wrong. Back to Tottenham, there's been a goal there, Henry Moran.
There has. Tottenham have got a goal back. Rodrigo Bentancur with a header at the near post from a corner. Suddenly all the pressure is on Ipswich. Tottenham 1, Ipswich 2.
And full-time in the rugby, Molly Stevens.
A breathless match, but Fiji have won in Cardiff for the first time ever. Wales equal their longest losing run in Test history. 10 straight Test match defeats. 19 points alone came from the Fiji fly half Caleb Muntz. He's been superb this afternoon, but the post-mortem starts now for Wales. Australia up next, and we saw what they did to England yesterday. It finishes Wales 19, Fiji 24.
Thanks, Molly. What a story there. Scotland against South Africa to come this afternoon. That's a 4:10 start as James Justin picks it up for Leicester City just inside the Manchester United half. We should probably redo our James Justin analysis at some point for the benefit of rather just you and me, the rest of our listeners, as Mads Hermansen has it just outside the 6-yard box in his own penalty area, plays it forward. Manchester United leading by 2-0, 17 minutes to play here at Old Trafford, and Ruud van Nistelrooy's final game in interim charge as Hoyland wins a throw over on the far side. So yeah, just talk to us about James Justin, because he's been under a lot of scrutiny from Leicester City fans, had a bit of a shocker here in the League Cup a couple of games ago, but has done well.
I think he's done well. He's come up in a pressure game. Rashford was his opponent, other than deep crosses, obviously from wider areas which you can't really get tight. I think he's done everything needed, so a solid performance, nothing too much to worry about from today. And you have these points where you're under adversity, under problems, and you've got to play through it. Here he is now, not so confident with that pass as he puts it out for certain, but no, I think he's done okay.
So change for Manchester United, and Rasmus Højlund is going to make way for Joshua Zirkzee. So final 16 minutes here. If we're looking ahead to what Ruben Amorim can expect as he takes over at Manchester United from Monday, Michael, well, what do you think are the main positives to take out of this brief spell of Ruud van Nistelrooy, and what are the main things from the Erik ten Hag era that still need sorting?
Well, I think out of possession they've got to be a lot better, more aggressive in the press as a group. It starts from the front, that understanding of when not to go, but they've got some talented players who can score goals in advanced positions. Defensively as a unit, that's got to get better. Will we see a change of shape? And if that happens, is how the personnel fit into that. And then you talk about windows that's needed to buy those players that can do that. But I think we've seen an improvement certainly from Ruud van Nistelrooy. The manager's gone and they've played a bit more freer, created opportunities, and I think it needed to happen. He needed a fresh start, but there's still a lot of work to do for Amorim coming inside this building.
Clearance too strong from Onana, and it flies out over the head of Ruud van Nistelrooy, who may be heading for his second farewell at Manchester United. He's made it clear he wants to stay on as assistant manager, but that is not certain, with Ruben Amorim of course wanting to bring in his own staff as well.
If he doesn't know now, then I don't think he's wanted fully. I think he just wishes everybody all the best, and at the end of the game says, that's me done, I haven't done enough, the manager's not called me yet, and that's what it is. If you're not going to be fully part of it, this is Ruud van Nistelrooy in his career as a manager, and that might be a concern for Amorim coming in, but I just think he's got to wish everybody all the best, and away he goes, unless he's had that confirmation and they're going to announce the whole team.
Here goes Bruno Fernandes over the halfway line, out to the left-hand side, and Alejandro Garnacho looks to have shaken off that wrist issue. That's a nice ball to Fernandes on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Leicester with the royal blue shirts back defending as Fernandes pulls it back to Manuel Ugarte, and now out to the left once more with Fernandes. Whips the ball in, right-footed, good delivery, headed away by Victor Christensen and helped on by Harry Winks on the edge of the Leicester penalty area. Jordan Ayew can't beat De Ligt in the end. That's a lovely bit of footwork from Manuel Ugarte. Dance past a couple of challengers, and now Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho, left-hand side of the penalty area, looking for the shots, and in the end blazes it wide of that far post of Hermansen.
Ugarte bring it out of the sky, a little trick and flick, drives forward, and as Bruno Fernandes looks to see if anything opens, reverse pass into Garnacho. He wants to make things happen very, very quickly, and on that right-hand side, tries to see the far corner, always rising, not really a convincing effort.
So goal kick to Leicester City. They're just starting to take their time over this. In fact, I'd take that back. It's because Casemiro's got a slight issue, so referee Peter Banks has told them not to take it. So just going back to the Van Nistelrooy, Ruben Amorim debate, I mean, the line really from both of them has been, look, Amorim's focusing on his final few games with Sporting and Van Nistelrooy's focusing on this. Is it something that, if you were Amorim, would you want him on the coaching staff? I mean, he was brought in by Ten Hag over the summer. Clearly he's got a huge connection with this club. Or would you want a clean break to bring in your own team?
I think you always want your own team if you've never worked with somebody before, but you might not be able to, for technicalities, work permits, other visas, etc. You might not be able to get everybody you want straight into the building, so that leaves an opportunity and a gap. Do they wait till next week? Do they sit down? Do they have a long meeting? Do they have a coffee and have a chat with where they think they can go forward, or what they need from each other? That might be the one thing where I say, okay, if he hasn't spoken to him yet, he should just walk away. I mean, he maybe needs to have the conversation first. But if there's still a bit of an uncertainty, this is Ruud van Nistelrooy. On you go, you're going to get another opportunity.
Christian Eriksen has come on for Casemiro. Back to Forest, Lee Blakeman.
Forest 1, Newcastle 2. Couple of chances for Forest, though. Ramon Sosa into the area, shot well blocked. Ilanga's just put a header wide, and Newcastle have had to bring on Harvey Barnes for the injured Anthony Gordon. Forest 1, Newcastle 2 with 10 to play.
And to Kilmarnock against Celtic. 3 o'clock kick-off. Kenny Crawford.
Vicky, still 0-0 here between Kilmarnock and Celtic. 37 minutes gone, but what a chance that was for Kelly to take the lead. It fell to Marley Watkins, the Welshman, former Barnsley and Bristol City striker, played in by Kyle Vassell, but he dinked it over Kasper Schmeichel, who was on rushing, and it clipped the post and was cleared for a corner. So still Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 0.
Here come Manchester United down the left-hand side with Garnacho. 11 minutes to play. Strong challenge there by Wout Faes. Allowed to go by referee Peter Banks. And Jordan Ayew has it, but his ball cross-field out to the left is blocked away by Eriksson. And De Ligt will steer it back to Andre Onana, who plays it out to Christian Eriksen, who made his return from injury in Europe against PAOK Salonika in midweek and now makes his return in the Premier League as well, as Martinez steers it back to Johnny Evans, closed down by Jordan Ayew. A little bit short back to Onana, but he does get there and launches it away from El Hanous. Leicester trying to win that ball back in the Manchester United half, and they do so. Here is Boubacar Samare. Buonanotte trying to steer it through the legs of Ugarte, who just about managed to get a touch on the ball, but Leicester have won it back. They're just being sloppy at the moment, Manchester United.
Yeah, they are. But Leicester City, when they get the ball, they're still going backwards. I don't think they need to do that. They need to step forward wherever they can and just let Manchester United off the hook. And here the fans now, they realise it's a moment in the game where they can actually see it off. They don't want Leicester City to get any little opportunity to come back. They're moving it around now and right in front of Manchester United for certain, but they've just got a little bit of fatigue sleep, sort of drifting into the game.
And here they come again down this left-hand side. Good block by Mazraoui, but he won't prevent the corner even though he tried to with an acrobatic clearance. But again, it's good play by Abdul Fattawu down that left-hand side. He really has stood out for Leicester City today.
Yeah, he's good, he's positive. Mazraoui, to be fair, does well, doesn't he? Stopping that initial ball in, he sort of waits and then pushes line, tries to deliver. It's a good block near post, and this is the moment now Leicester have been waiting for. Can they take anything from this corner kick?
Well, they've got 9 minutes plus added time to play. It's Manchester United who lead by 2-0. Casey McAteer is about to come on for Leicester City. They'll take this corner first. Players tumbling on the edge of the 6-yard box. It was Johnny Evans, headed away by Ahmed. Buonanotte then hooks it forward, chests it down by Jordan Ayew. Acrobatic clearance over his own head by Martinez. He's gone down holding his back. Faes heads it forward. Martinez down inside the penalty area. Leicester still come. Peter Banks saying play on. Swung into the box by Harry Winks. Cleared away by Christian Eriksen. Andre Garnacho will pick it up on the halfway line, and Christian Eriksen will steer it forward, and Martinez is very gingerly getting up to his feet as Manchester United counter with Bruno Fernandes. They play their way out from under pressure well there as Garnacho picks it up, goes for the corner! What a goal! Oh, that's a stunner from Alejandro Garnacho. Well, he was dropped from the starting lineup for this game, but he's come off the bench to prove his quality and his worth once again. It's a stunner. It's Manchester United 3, Leicester 0.
Well, he tried the first time and it went wide and high. This time, as he had more space, he looked, he waited, he was more composed, and he just fizzes it left hand side of the penalty area, 25 yards out. He just curls it right around the goalkeeper. Pace, power, sensational finish. This young man has everything. He's exciting to watch. A brilliant return. As soon as he comes on, things happen. And it's a wonderful counter from Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes, he's the one involved. Garnacho waits, he's patient, just drifts out. It's tight across that line, but he just pushes it inside. And then that curling finish, we just see it again in the top corner. Is absolutely brilliant.
And to be fair, since he come on, he'd had a bit of a stinker.
No, he hasn't. He's had some opportunities. It's gone around. Vicky, you're too critical. Young player, exciting. This is what happens. 1 minute they get something wrong, and the next he does that.
Well, whatever he's done, whatever side of the fence you're on, Michael or mine,
I look after these players.
He's scored an absolute welding. He won't care a bit about the rest of his performance. It's a stunner, it's a super goal. Let's head back to Nottingham Forest. Lee Blakeman.
Newcastle have got a third. Forest 1, Newcastle 3. Tonali on the counter, played in Barnes, cut inside, right foot shot, bottom corner. Forest's winning run is coming to an end here. Forest 1, Newcastle 3.
Thanks very much, Lee. Commentary continues over on 5 Sports Extra. So McAteer is on for James Justin. And Manchester United are heading for all 3 points. We haven't kicked off yet again, although that probably is because Lisandro Martinez is walking off. He doesn't look as though he's going to be able to continue. It's one of these where you don't kick off and you think, oh gosh, is VAR getting involved? But no. Leicester get us underway again. Martinez is waiting on the touchline to see if he can continue, as Johnny Evans will try and shepherd that ball away from Fatawu and plays it forwards to Bruno Fernandes. And now Joshua Zirkzee out to the left hand side, and Garnacho, who won't keep that in, says the assistant, oh, he's fuming, Garnacho. It looked from here as though he might have done, but the assistant says no. So throw to Leicester, who trail by 3-0. Let's head back to Burnley. Sani Radravajula.
Burnley 0, Swansea City 0. The Clarets knocking on the door now, most recently with Jadon Anthony from the edge of the area. Swansea, though, having a good chance a moment ago. Still goalless. Burnley 0, Swansea City 0.
Down the left-hand side come Leicester City. El Hanous just run out of room. It's claiming a little deflection on the way through, and Peter Banks agrees it will be a Leicester City corner. Michael Brown.
Yeah, they're just trying to find any opportunity that's sort of running away now, isn't it? Demoralised, that's what happens when he just sticks it in the top corner. For all the good play, Leicester City, they haven't really sort of created enough, have they? And that's been the difference when Manchester United got the chances and put them away.
They do have a set piece. It's swung in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Manchester United make first contact. Picked up on this right-hand side by Buonanotte, who wins another corner off Ugarte.
That was again, they weren't sure, the officials, were they, which way it was going to go, but they're rushing, want to take it quickly. Manchester United need to get organised and expect a quick one here.
So Leicester with this corner from the near side will be swung in by Buonanotte, left-footed, powerful header away by Matthias de Ligt for Manchester United, and picked up now by Harry Winks just outside the centre circle. Plays it forward to Fatawu, who's done really well there. Was he caught by Bruno Fernandes? Yes, he was. He did so well there initially to keep his footing, Fatawu, then couldn't quite keep the ball as he stumbled back to his feet, and Leicester have a free.
Did you see the shake of hands from Bruno Fernandes? They're like sort of go, are you okay? He knows full well that he doesn't want to receive the yellow card. That's where he goes to at this stage. I mean, he almost stays up. He wanted to stay up to get to the other side to try and get some momentum to get into the penalty area, but it wasn't meant to be, and it was a sort of a loose tackle, wasn't it, from Bruno Fernandes?
Well, he's absolutely run himself into the ground, Abdul Fatawu, the 20-year-old. And as we say, he really has impressed for Leicester this afternoon. But they are 3-0 down. Manchester United are heading to another 3 points. And it's going to be 3 wins and a draw from Ruud van Nistelrooy's 4 games in charge. As Harry Winks swings the ball in, it's over the head of everybody, including Yannick Vestergaard, which is no mean feat, and spins out of play for a Manchester United throw on the far side.
Yeah, it's just a waste, isn't it? The quality Harry Winks has with that right foot. He'll be disappointed that he couldn't get it more in the key area, and also as well, when you set up on those wide free kicks, you need somebody coming around that back post. Just get another look at that strike from Garnacho. Just comes inside, right foot, as the goalkeeper makes it look even better. As that reverse hand comes over the top of us, it sails into the corner. Ruud van Nistelrooy punch in the air with delight. It's easy, this, isn't it?
So another change for Leicester. Odsonne Edouard is on for his former Crystal Palace teammate Jordan Ayew, who is making his way very slowly around the pitch. We said before the game, as Manchester United have a throw deep in their own territory, that of course the loss of top scorer Jamie Vardy to injury, not involved at all today, would be a loss. They played well without him, but is Vardy the man that could have taken one of those chances that they fashioned on occasion?
Yeah, I suppose so. That's what he's done all his career, hasn't he? He's had that experience, that know-how to get onto different sort of situations, but I don't want to be critical of Jordan Ayew because I think he's played his part. He's obviously tried to lay off, tried to occupy that two centre-backs of Manchester United's pairing, and then obviously that foil so Ndidi could get in behind. That was always the plan, but they just haven't had enough in the areas. The wide plays have looked exciting for Leicester City, but overall, and like I said it in the first half, Bruno Fernandes makes that difference of having that quality and make sure that they get something at the end of it. Obviously Ahmed's first half was very, very good.
The drizzle starting to come down now here at Old Trafford as Andre Onana launches that ball over the halfway line. Vestergaard wins the header for Leicester, but it's Manchester United who still lead by 3-0 here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Out to the left-hand side, and Garnacho, who has scored the pick of the bunch. No-nonsense clearance from Lisandro Martinez. Let's head back to Tottenham. Henry Moran.
It remains Tottenham 1, Ipswich 2. Just 2.5 minutes left of the 90, and Ipswich goalkeeper Muric is frustrating those Spurs fans. He's taking his time with everything. Ipswich can see and sense their first Premier League win in 22 years. Spurs 1, Ipswich 2.
Can they do it? Can they hold out? They've suffered so much with late goals this season, Ipswich.
It's my fault.
Michael Brown's got his head in his hands, and Ipswich Town fans, I'm sure, are going to be biting their fingernails as the ball goes out of play for a Manchester United throw.
I did think it was the banker of the weekend. So sorry. Well done. Credit where credit's due.
Well, Leicester City of late have been the side where late goals have proved decisive in terms of result changing, as Manchester United have this throw deep in their own territory. Lost 4 games, in fact. There's been a goal scored in the 90th minute or later that has changed the result in Leicester's games, but I don't think it's going to happen here. We've got 40 seconds plus added time to play. Manchester United lead by 3-0, but if anyone deserves a goal, it's this man, Abdul Fattawi. Down the right hand side he goes, and Jordy Evans there has anticipated, I think, the whistle from Peter Banks, because he's definitely grabbed that ball before the whistle's gone. But Peter Banks has decided that it was a foul by Abdul Fattawi as we enter 6 minutes added time. And Manchester United prepare to take this free kick, leading by 3-0. In terms of performance today, Michael Brown, I'll ask you that in a moment, because there's been a goal at Kilmarnock. Kenny Crawford.
Where it's into the 4th minute of added time in the first half, and Celtic have the opener. Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 1. It was Callum McGregor about 25 yards out, curled one into the box. It looked like it's gone all the way and sneaked in at the corner. Adam Ida might have got a touch, but the important thing is that Brendan Rodgers' side lead. Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 1.
Matthias de Ligt in possession just outside the centre circle. He's well closed down by El Hanous as Andre Onana plays it out to Christian Eriksen. So, Michael, what has impressed you most about this Manchester United performance today?
Well, they've got the job done. If it's a clean sheet, that's certainly a real positive for this side who've been conceding goals. And you've got to look as well. I think with uncertainty around the place, a temporary manager, they've got quality in that squad, putting young players in for a chance, and especially making that decision with Ahmed. And I just think Bruno Fernandes has sort of said, right, here we go, I'm going to lead the side, and that's what they've gone on and done. I'm just looking at the table now, because they're so low, Manchester United.
As Ahmed drives over the bar from the edge of the penalty area, and we say Fattawi for Leicester deserves the goal. Ahmed certainly could deserve one for Manchester United, but yes, the table.
Yeah, the table's so tight. Manchester United, within 3 points can be up into the top 5. So all of a sudden the change in the mood, the turnaround can be so quickly for a new manager coming in, where it looked like you couldn't even get near Champions League. I know it's a long way off, there's a lot to do, work in progress, but there's a change around, there's a momentum finally because of that sort of change in manager, and I think the players needed that lift, and it's been a good performance, a good week for Manchester United.
Bruno Fernandes sprays the ball out to the right-hand side. Ahmed will control it, and he's driving at Christensen. Here he goes, couple of step overs, pulls the ball back, can't find Xerxes, and will be cleared away by Leicester City. Back to Tottenham, Henry Moran.
We've had 1 minute of 8 added on. Ipswich have had the ball in the corner on the far side. They've got much too long to worry about that sort of thing. There is still time for Spurs. Spurs 1, Ipswich 2.
Commentary over on the BBC Sport website, but if there's a goal, we will bring it to you right away here on 5 Live as well. At Old Trafford, 3.5 minutes of added time to play. Manchester United 3, Leicester 0. As Manchester United win possession, and a free kick just inside the Leicester half. And you know, we always knew that this was going to be an interim period for Ruud van Nistelrooy, but it does give this little mini platform, doesn't it, for Ruben Amorim to build on when he comes in tomorrow. Of course, those longer term issues for Manchester United and the way they've been playing, you know, are going to take a while, as you've said, Michael, to resolve. But this is a positive thing for him to be able to build on
all
this
day
little
long.
step.
That the players are in a better mood, you're getting results, and then he can just come in. I mean, the pressure's on. He will have wanted that reaction, won't he, when he comes in and think, well, I wanted to get a few wins, gain the confidence and the trust in the team, but overall, you know, the outcome towards the end of the season would be much brighter with these type of results if the manager can come in as well. Continue, doesn't have to go too crazy straight away, have a little look at the situation. I think he wanted to do that anyway. Do you know, by the look of how the appointment's gone on, he's wanted to take his time, or to get a little bit of look at Manchester United and try and obviously affect it quicker. And the international break, I think, was a sensible move.
Well, there were questions, weren't there, initially about whether he might stay with Sporting until the end of the season, but
I think he wanted to do that also, but then you have a little look, is this the right job for me now? Is others going to come at the end of the season, or are they not? Or so do I have to go to Manchester United now?
Yeah, in the end, just saying it was a chance he just couldn't pass up as Leicester drive the ball into the area. Bonanote's there, can't latch onto it. Martinez wins the header. He's well pressured by Odsonne-Edouard as Manchester United do eventually clear, but only as far as Wout Faes. 90 seconds plus added time to play. Out to the left-hand side come Leicester City, still trying to get on the score sheet in this game here at Old Trafford as Harry Winks plays it forward. Buonanotte has it, just shy of 30 yards out, but the run hadn't been made by Christensen over on the far side, and ball goes out of play for a Manchester United goal kick. Where does this leave Leicester then? Just looking at the table, still 15th on 10 points, 3 points clear of Crystal Palace. And coming into this game, it was actually double the points they had at this stage in their last Premier League season. But where does this leave them?
I think there's been some positives for Steve Cooper and his side, the way they've played, the way they've took the ball. I was asked at the start how they would approach it. I think they were brave in certain situations. Did they create enough? No, they didn't. Is Vardy missing? Was that a talking point? Yes, it was. Exciting players on the wide areas for certain, and I think they've had different ways and different styles to play. So work to do for Leicester City. We knew that was going to be the case for the manager going in, but not too much of a concern. I don't think the pressure needs to be put on the manager in this Leicester City group, and I feel like they will tick away with some results if that pressure doesn't increase. So they've got a little bit of breathing space over their shoulder.
And they've won possession just inside their own half. Manchester United leading by 3-0. To the closing stages, still in added time. At Tottenham, trailing Ipswich by 2-1. As Joshua Zirkzee picks up the ball for Manchester United, and over the halfway line goes Bruno Fernandes out to the right-hand side, and Ahmed looking to cap off this performance with a goal. Just about overrun it, and Hermansen comes out sharply and gathers, and that will be that. So the Ruud van Nistelrooy era at Manchester United comes to an end. Unbeaten in his 4 games as interim manager, as they prepare to welcome their new boss, Ruben Amorim, tomorrow. It's finished with an impressive and relatively comfortable win against a Leicester side who showed positives but just weren't able to find that breakthrough when they did have those rare chances against Andre Onana. Michael Brown.
Yeah, full credit to Ruud van Nistelrooy in the setup and a way of getting results, whether the formation or whether you let somebody do particular ways. They try to cross the ball early, they try to attack wherever possible. That's what the manager demands from him. So really good tenure, although very short, from Ruud van Nistelrooy. A bit of positivity around. We're all looking forward to seeing what this new manager is going to bring into Manchester United. A real positive sort of outcome today. Goals from the captain, obviously Bruno Fernandes, and a real important first half from that youngster Ahmed.
He wants to stay on as assistant manager. We'll see if he does, or whether this will be his second farewell as he makes his way onto the Old Trafford pitch. It finishes Manchester United 3, Leicester 0.
And Ruud van Nistelrooy stood there on the edge of the dugout and shook hands with every single member of the Manchester United coaching staff and technical staff as they walked down the stairs in front of him. And now he goes on and congratulates Bruno Fernandes. The full-time whistle has gone at the City ground in the Premier League. Lee Blakeman.
Forest's winning run is over thanks to an excellent performance from Newcastle. Forest 1, Newcastle 3. Forest ahead through a Murillo header in the first half. Newcastle level through Isak 9 minutes into the second. Joe Linton with a great curling shot gave Newcastle Newcastle the lead before Barnes, on as a sub, wrapped it up. Forest stay third for now. Newcastle back-to-back wins. They're up to 8. Forest 1, Newcastle 3.
Half-time at Kilmarnock in the Scottish Premiership. Kenny Crawford.
It's Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 1. Steve Kelly manager Derek McInnes insisted his side wouldn't be